All right, looks like I'm live. I'll put the hat on in a minute, guys. I just got done getting out of the car a few minutes ago, and it was pouring rain. And like I said, I don't have any hairstylist person here, no makeup person here, so had to kind of try to. Does it look good? All right, that'll be good enough for now. I just hate putting a hat on a wet head, because then it just sits there and gets the hat all wet, and then you're just kind of like, it's like, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, let's see who's here tonight. Mateo's here. How's it going, man? M4 Johnny, what's happening? Ninja Scout. Uh-oh, VZ58 guy. You guys better watch out. Be careful. It's no longer just the AR-AK debate because Ninja Scout's coming in here with the wild card. He's going to trump all of us. He actually might, though. No jokes there. Let's see here. I know I saw somebody else pop in here. Matt Morrison. How's it going, Matt? Johnny Powell. What's happening, man? Yeah, the natural look. See? Tree Guy. What's happening, Tree Guy? Francis P. How's it going? The rental girl. She's out of town right now, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, probably drunk as heck right now. If I had to guess. Shave it bald. Saves on fashion statements and hair products. See, that's the thing. I'd like to shave it completely bald, but then it drives me nuts if I wear a hat. And I always like to wear a hat when I'm cutting grass to keep the sun and like low-hanging branches out of my eye. Because I'm cruising along going 12 and there's a branch, and you just kind of duck, and let it deflect off the top of the hat. That could kind of leave scars if, yeah. Rybo 009. How's it going, man? It's up to you. Anyways, there was a couple cool guns already mentioned by you guys. VZ58, first of all. Totally love it. It's a Czech-made gun, for those of you that aren't familiar. People kind of sort of like to mistake it as an AK. Here's what it comes down to. Not an AK at all. Same round, 7.62 by 39. Other than that, there's like no parts that are interchangeable. I think there's like one screw that can be interchanged. Other than that, completely different gun. Basically what happened is during the Kombloch era, right, under the Iron Curtain, all the Soviet puppet states, which did include Czechoslovakia, they were basically ordered by Soviet Russia that you're going to use the 7.62 by 39, like you will use that round, and we prefer you to use the AK. We'll help you set you up with some tooling, we'll sell them to you, etc., right? And you'll be looked at with a little bit more favor. And when I say that, I mean in like the communist jackboot sort of way, right? Like when they said they were doing you a favor, it was more like, hey, look, you're going to have some problems. But if you buy these rifles from us and pay, your proper dues to us, you won't have those problems. And then they'd be like, well, we don't have any problems. No, you don't understand. This problem we're talking about, you will have it unless you... I could talk about this for days, but you guys get the gist of it. So basically, to avoid having problems and to kind of get along and be copacetic with the head jackboot, which was kind of mothership Russia, right, during the Soviet era, most people went with the Kalashnikov during this time period. Czechoslovakia, though, always had a little bit something different in mind, right? So they designed their VZ58, which had replaced previously the CZ VZ52. Now, that's chambered in 7.62 by 45. So they were kind of on their own caliber thing and their own rifle that was separate from the separate from the SKS at that time, because a VZ52 looks a lot like an SKS, right? But it's also not an SKS. It's actually an almost completely different rifle. So with that said, they finally gave in with the VZ58 around 1958, and they said, well, we'll use the 7.62 by 39. But what they did in return is they made their own assault rifle, and I am using that in the correct terminology. Not assault weapon. That's a made-up term that the fake news and the gun grabbers use, right? But assault rifle does have a definition, and the VZ58 would actually fit that, right? It's an intermediate caliber weapon. It's select fire, able to go from semi-automatic to machine gun fire. It's portable, lightweight, handheld, troop carryable rifle, right? So for their assault rifle, they decided to switch to the VZ58. It's a milled receiver, so it has some of the benefits of a milled receiver, right? Like more rigidity. We could say more durability. I'm not really convinced that milled receivers are necessarily more durable than stamped, but in certain instances they are. Like if you had, a vehicle drive over one, it could withstand more impact and things like that. As far as which ones will go the most rounds, I don't know. I mean, it's easy to say milled's more durable, but stamped, I've seen some Kalashnikovs with a lot of rounds that are stamped. So, but anyways, so the down, but it's definitely more rigid. We can't argue with that as far as the receiver itself, right? Now, the downside to a milled is usually it's heavier. Until you get to a VZ58, then all of a sudden it's lightweight, weighs less in most cases than an AKM, but still has that more rigid milled receiver. Great guns. You could get them in several different configurations. You know, you could get them with what we call like a beaver bark or beaver barf furniture, which was basically like particle wood, like what you put in OSB, mixed with a phenolic resin. So it kind of looks like Bakelite. It kind of looks like not OSB, but more like MDF, right? Like what you get a cheap entertainment center made out of. The stuff that's really, really strong and hard until you get it wet, then it just swells up and crumbles apart. Yeah, that stuff. Basically glorified sawdust, right? Mixed with a phenolic resin. The handguards were generally in that, and you could have a fixed phenolic resin / sawdust board buttstock, or they made it the other way where there was actually the folding wire folder. Those are the most common. Now, the early VZ58s were actually made out of a hardwood, usually like a light blonde color. Probably for functionality, the beaver bar furniture is probably the best, but I kind of like the early hardwood furniture myself. So like everything, I couldn't decide which VZ58 I liked better. So I have one that's in the hardwood, one of the earlier style furnitures. I have one with a phenolic resin-ish, a fixed stock, and then I have another one that's the side folder. So I went with all three. So I don't think I need to say much else other than I'm a big fan of the VZ58. What a tangent you started there on Ninja Scout. I think what it comes down to is as much as I like the VZ58 and obviously other people are interested in it, I should probably get a couple of mine out and do some videos. So if you guys would like that, let me know because I think that'd be fun. I'm kind of a pretty big fan of those rifles, to be honest, and big fan of a lot of the Czech guns. I like the VZ61 Scorpions. I like even a lot of their little pistols. Love my Scorpion Evo 3, by the way. I know I'm kind of fast forwarding a little bit here, but man, love the Scorpion Evo 3. I think it's one of my favorite guns there is. I know some of you guys love them. Some people hate them, but you won't find any hate for the the Evo 3 here. Great, great, great little platform. Little SMG, if you will, right? Tactical Reviews is here. How's it going, man? Nice to see you. Tactical Review. Yeah, it is good to see you here actually during a live broadcast. Nice. Vanessa Kitty. How's it going, Vanessa? SAJ PB52. How's it going, man? He's talking about the AR-15 and the AR-10. In other words, the M16 and the full auto from Vietnam. I think you guys are throwing out some of your favorite guns. That's cool. Jay Garcia, how's it going, man? Nice haircut. Yeah, it's still a little bit wet, but I'm trying to dry it off here. How's the G2C? The G2C is awesome, man. Really good. I'll say it for the 100th time because there's always new people coming in here. I didn't buy this gun because I was a fanboy. I didn't buy this gun because Taurus sent it to me. No, I bought it with my own money. And I kind of bought it just to be like, what the heck is up with this gun? Like, is it worth the hype? And that was the name of my first video on this gun. My first video that is the one that many of you guys found my channel from. I think it's got over 50,000 views, which is crazy for a channel as small as mine, But that's literally why I bought it, to see if it's worth the hype. And I'll tell you guys a secret. And I've talked about this gun enough to know now that you'll know I was being honest with this gun. When I first bought it, I said, you know what? This thing's got to be a piece of junk. It's $200 at that time, like $175 because there was a $25 rebate. These are all just shills online. They're just saying it's good because they got it for free and they're getting a paycheck from Taurus. I'm going to buy one of these and I'm going to be the honest guy that tells them the truth, right? I wasn't buying the gun to do a hit piece on it. Don't mistake what I'm saying here, but I was kind of like, is this thing worth the hype? There's no way it could possibly be that good. So I bought it, being skeptical of it, but I started off being very fair, like, hey, I'm going to give this thing a chance. And now look, everyone's going to have different experiences. I totally get that. But the one that I own, the sample size of one, this gun's been great. Not had any problems with it yet. I cleaned it one time after the first time I shot it. just to kind of inspect everything, make sure I didn't see any burrs or uneven wearing, just normal stuff that I would do, right, on any new gun. Even if I spent like $2,000 for it, I'm going to clean it up good and take a peek inside, right? Well, so far, no problems. Haven't cleaned it since the first time I shot it. It doesn't even look dirty somehow. I've given it a couple drops of lube, like with the gun already assembled, just like a drop on the barrel, a drop here, a drop on the barrel hood type of lube job. Other than that, mine's been awesome. And I've said this before, and I'll say it one more time because that's how much I mean it. This has become one of my favorite guns to shoot. Is it my favorite gun? No, I like collecting. I like more historical guns and, you know, milsurps and stuff. But as far as actually shooting this gun, okay, I find it to be very, very comfortable. It just fits my hand perfectly. Not that 9 has much recoil, but it handles the recoil like it's nothing. Pleasurable to shoot. Yeah. To answer your question, man, what was it, Mr. Garcia that asked that question? Really, really like it. And if you guys saw my video the other day, there's a G3 coming soon. So be looking out for that pretty quick. Maybe as soon as next week. I have to work all weekend. I don't know when I'm going to get time to go to the FFL, but I did get an email update that it's going to be arriving soon. So there's going to be a G3 on the channel soon, even a G2S that I bought actually quite a while back. But I'll probably do a review on the G2S first and then the G3 because it should be in by then. So, yeah. I've never been like a lifelong fan of Taurus. In fact, they've made lots of guns that just between me and you, I can't stand. I definitely don't like all of their guns. But this little guy, mine's worked great. And it's very, very comfortable to shoot. And I would take it over a high point. I mean, it's a lot more ergonomic. It's half the size. Holds, you know, almost twice the rounds. Look, nothing against high points. I know some of you guys are high point fans. Look, I own a high point C9, a JHP 45. I've even got one of their carbines right here. Okay, so I'm obviously not knocking high point owners. I'd be knocking myself, but a high point, it is what it is. I mean, here's the big problem with them. They're a single stack magazine. So to carry something around that large, that's that heavy and that hard to conceal, why? Why do you want to have this little itty bitty single stack mag when you could get a little single stack gun that's this big, and with me having the mag guts plus one magazine in here, I'm up to like the same round capacity basically as a high point, right? So you could fit 3 or 4 of these in your pocket for the size of one high point 380. You could carry almost 2 G2Cs for the size of one high point C9. So, look, if all you got is a high point, if that's all you can afford as a high point, great. Do I think this is a better gun to probably be carrying due to many reasons, especially the fact that it's way higher capacity and the fact that it's much lighter and more concealable? I'd recommend this, just to be blunt about it. So, oh boy, I put AK versus AR debate in the title. And now I'm debating high point versus Taurus G2C. Ugh. I'll be lucky. Somebody said something about me having 1,000 subs earlier. I'll be lucky to have 1,000 by the time this stream's over if I keep these topics going. Let me go through here and catch up since I've been kind of ranting. Matt Morrison, yep, CSA. He's talking about check small arms, otherwise known as checkpoint, right? You know, as far as the recoil on the VZ58s, you know, they don't recoil that bad in my opinion. Maybe a little more, but I think they're more comfortable to shoot with the fixed stock, whether it be the wood or the Bakelite sawdust substance. The wire folder, you know, those are always a little bit uncomfortable, but you get the portability of folding the thing and having it come in around maybe 25 and a half inches folded. So that's always nice too, right? Looks like Vanessa Kitty likes the Evo 3. They do look pretty neat, don't they? The Scorpions. They look neat, and I think they're comfortable. I'm kind of a big fan. Let's see here. Yep, Tactical Review's getting an AK. I remember him telling me in the comments for the last stream what it is. So I don't want to blow it unless unless he's already told you guys. But I guess if you go over to his channel, he'll be having a video coming out on it fairly soon, I assume, right? Raphael, how's it going, man? Let's see here. Jeremy Wilson's here. How's it going, Jeremy? What's happening, man? There he is, the Texas Outlaw. You guys better mind your manners. The Outlaw's in the house tonight. Nah, he won't. He won't bite, guys. He looks mean, but well, he is mean actually, but he behaves himself in here. It's that poor conservative guy you have to watch out for. Not sure if he's here tonight, but that's the one you guys want to look for. What do I think about the 300 blackout with a suppressor? I think that's a really good idea, actually. Oh, there's a debate. I don't know. It seems to me it was originally kind of designed to be suppressed, right? Because the 300 Whisper, which is basically what the 300 AAC became, right? The 300 Whisper, last time I checked, was basically designed around the fact of it being suppressed or silenced, right? So, yeah. Okay, never mind. Vanessa Kitty's the one you guys have to worry about, okay? And Michael, too, but he'll be nice to you guys. Don't worry about that. But Vanessa Kitty, I don't think I can hold her back. So, you guys are on your own with her. Jeremy Wilson stuck at work. I just got off work a few minutes ago, man. I was cutting till dark. Had to go load more trucks in my truck. For you guys that are on IG, I appreciate you guys following me and looking at my pictures. I put a couple pictures up recently of some different tools on a deck that I'm in progress on that I need to finish this weekend because it's going good, but it's time to get it done. Been working on it too long because I was planning on working on it for a couple weeks, but the week before this past one, it rained 6 out of 7 days, and that messed me up for sure. Let's see here if I missed anything else. Thank you. Yeah. And what's funny is I had all those Makita tools sitting there and the lake was in the background. I'm working. I was kind of getting tired and wanted to take a break. And I just looked up and I'm like, man, that's pretty looking at that lake in the background. And that's seriously how those tools were sitting. I didn't, take the time to do an arrangement or anything. I just looked down. I said, you know what? That looks like a pretty good picture. So took a picture of it. And after I did it, I'm like, man, it looks like I prearranged all that. I honestly didn't. Now, the one with the cordless pass load in it, I did take 2 seconds and put the little speed square in it because I thought, yeah, that looks pretty good. But, yeah, it takes a little time. I'm using the hidden fasteners on the trucks, which they're cool. Faster just to shoot it with a nail gun, right, with any kind of decking. But if I were to choose between just doing screws versus the hidden fasteners are probably the way to go. Especially if you're using Trex screws, the real proper way is to countersink all of them and then put in the little plugs. You take yourself a piece of scrap Trex and drill out a bunch of different plugs, and I don't know. It's a pain in the butt. There's no such thing as a quick Trex job. Like, it's always going to be harder than wood, in my opinion. But I think I kind of like the hidden fasteners. So if you guys are curious about that, doing any decking yourself, you can look at those IG pictures and you'll see you're not going to see any nails or screw holes. It's all with these black clips that hold in, and the wood itself, or the Trex rather, the composite, is a tongue and groove. So it works all right, other than the fact that it's just a pain in the butt. Yeah, Johnny, you got what I'm saying. Foster bit and plugs. Or just do it this way. And here's the problem, though. That little teeny box of them, 90 fasteners, is like $35. So it adds up pretty quick. Yeah, brick can be expensive too. I've noticed some of that, Vanessa Kitty, on your IG too. I've installed a lot of brick pavers in my life too, guys. I've done a lot of patios, walkways, retaining walls, and that adds up really, really fast. Trex and brick pavers, they're both pretty costly endeavors, Yeah, I've got a bunch of Makita too. I'm a big fan of Makita, and I've gotten to the point where, I still bring like a corded table saw, corded miter saw out, but I'll do the whole deck with, you know, cordless circular saws and impact guns and drills, and that cordless pass load's awesome. Completely awesome. Wood-fired oven, that'll be nice. And expensive. I'll say that one more time, because trust me, I know. But worth it, though. If you do it right, it'll last you a lifetime. That's what's cool about it. And it looks classy, too. Just that classic, kind of like, you know, age-old. Like, it looks like it's 1,000 years old, but it's in style, too. That's what I love about, you know, the nice brick, you know, ovens and patios and walls and all that stuff. Yeah, it is crazy, tactical reviews. You know, I've got all the brushless stuff. You don't even need to worry about changing brushes anymore. Tons of power, good battery capacity, lightweight. I mean, it's all really nice. Edward Kent, you must have missed the very beginning. How's it going, man? I was just letting my hair dry a little bit. It's pretty dry now. Here's the hat. All right. No rental girl around tonight. Like I said, the girl formerly known as the rental girl, she's out partying right now with some friends. So probably drunk if I had to guess, but I shouldn't speak for her. I don't know. Yeah, nothing looks better than a job done right after you've gotten paid for it. As long as they pay for it. I don't even like looking at my work till I'm done and then the customer says it looks good, because I can think it looks good all I want, but if they don't, it's kind of like you don't want to jinx yourself, you know? Yeah, this hat, you know, they're kind of hard to find. Maybe they're easier to find now, but I bought this like a month ago, if you guys remember. Before that lady in front of Congress, you know, testified and said, I will not comply. The saying's become more popular since then, but I bought this before she said that, and the only place I could find it was Amazon. And it wasn't even cheap. It was like 20 bucks. Oh, there's the carpenter right there. Cave Dave. How's it going, man? What'd you think of them IG pictures? Do you like that Trex with the hidden fasteners? And if you don't, just send me a private message, because I'm trying to keep a reputation in front of all these guys. But when there's an actual professional carpenter in here, then so just tell me I'm doing a good job, Dave, just so I can keep my whole, you know, reputation up and in front of all these gun guys. Now there might be a few professional carpenters in here. I don't know. I just know Cave Dave is for sure. Oh, Cully on Noir selling these. See, I didn't know that. Like I said, I kind of got into the bandwagon before there was a wagon behind it, if you know what I'm saying. Cave Dave's like, yeah, no comment on that. On that hidden fasteners truck stack. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, Tactical Reviews used to be a 10 knocker. A little HVAC, huh? Strike 9, how's it going, man? Jeremy Wilson subscribed to a few others. Hopefully you're subbed to me. I think Jeremy Wilson subbed to me. He meant a few others and others, right? You know what, Tactical Reviews? I don't know how many of my streams you've heard, but you know I'm an IT guy too, just part-time. I do more of the outdoor services, but that's what my professional training's actually in, and I was into IT full-time for quite a number of years, but I like to do more of the outdoor services nowadays. So, yeah. Yeah, chat does suck on mobile. Yeah, don't say this chat sucks, though. No, you said the chat sucks on mobile. The chat's the best part of these streams. These guys that hang out in here are way cooler. If I didn't have the chat, I don't really think many people would be listening to just me ramble around. And you know, I said last stream, I said, you know, it's my good looks is what I bring to the channel. And a few people are like, dude, when I watch your streams, I set my phone or computer away and I'm like not even looking at the screen. So kind of got put in my place on that one. I mean, my wife thinks I'm good looking, so I'm all right there. That's really all that matters, right? Somebody else does too, but it doesn't matter. Sounds like Johnny Powell's a contractor or carpenter too, actually. So I did a video earlier tonight, guys, and I don't know if you guys liked the video or not. I just felt like going on a little rant. And, you know, just thought maybe we should look at things a little bit different. Because I've been hearing too many pro 2A guys, pro gun guys. And I've done it myself. Look, I'm not pointing at anybody because I've done it more than probably you guys have. But we'll catch ourselves once in a while saying the Second Amendment gives us the right to keep and bear arms. Or the Second Amendment makes these different bans they're proposing unconstitutional. Not really. And if you guys haven't watched the video yet, go back and watch it and, you know, let me know in the comments, see what you think. And then it kind of turned into like, look, here's what's funny. I know you guys were just screwing around, but the comments kind of started to turn into like, you know, maybe people were like AR versus AK. So that's why I put it in the title here. I guess you can get mad at me for clickbait. That's not really what the purpose of this stream is, guys. When I said why you can own and why you should own an AR-15, I wasn't just talking about the AR-15. Like, it was nothing to do with like, if you could only have one gun, it should be the AR, or I think this is the best gun. I'm using AR in that video because the AR-15 is the gun that they all want to ban. And it's the one that gets all the limelight, right? Like back in the 80s and early 90s, it was the AK-47. Now it's the AR-15. So when I meant AR-15, I basically meant this. Look, they're after the AR-15. But incidentally, all of the other semi-automatic guns get lumped in with it. So even if our favorite gun is the AK, right now we need to fight to save the AR-15, guys. Because if this gun goes, our AKs and our VZ-58s and our Scorpion Evo 3s and even a lot of, you know, Grandpa's Ruger Mini 14 ranch rifle, okay? All of those go instantly because they're all still included in the ban. But there's hardly an anti-gun article that goes by that doesn't mention the AR-15. So, and again, I know you guys probably already know this, but for anyone that thought I was literally promoting, hey, this is the best gun, really that was nothing to do with it. But, by the way, though, before you guys take me the opposite way, excellent gun. AR-15, awesome gun. AR versus AK, holy crap. I could probably sit there and debate it, but it might take me a few weeks because, okay, like look, if you had a genie in a bottle, right? And said, well, I'll give you two wishes or give you one wish, but you have to pick between the two, okay? So it's like, okay, here's option number one. Everything is going to go just perfect for you for the rest of your life. Okay. And the other option is nothing wrong is ever going to happen to you the rest of your life. Whoa. Which one? I'll pick the first, the second, both. I don't know, guys. You guys can get mad at me. See, I'm going to give you guys an answer that's going to get everybody mad at me. Really? It's both. Both of these are probably about the best rifle that you could have for militia use, to stand up against tyranny, to all the reasons I said earlier, to collect, to, you know, have fun with friends on the range, you know? They really are both great guns. Now, any of you that have been watching this channel for very long know I'm an AK guy, period. End of story. Do I like the AK more? Yeah, I do. Do I like to collect it more? Yeah. Is my personal SHTF gun that's just like at the ready, is it an AK or an AR? It's an AK. Not this exact one, but it's this exact model. It's another Wasser 1063 that I have. But I'm not going to knock anybody that picks this gun because there's tons of arguments that can be made back and forth, right? So I could say right away, look, I'll take my AK because I think it's more reliable. Now, first and foremost, the AR guy can argue with me, and he'll bring some arguments up where he'll have some stats and his personal experience where he'll say, no, the AR is actually just as reliable as the AK. He could say that. Well, let's say I finally beat him. Like, I proved to him the AK is more reliable because that's kind of its big thing, right, when we debate this. I've had AR guys just stop me in my tracks, and they're like, okay, fine, I'll give it to you. I'll give you that. Your AK is going to last longer during a prolonged gunfight or crappy situation or rust or if you're wading through a swamp, like all these different scenarios, right? They'll say, I'll give that to you. But here's the thing. When And this is all like this made up SHTF where it's like, you know, some type of war going on. That's the scenario, right? They'll say, well, guess what, though? When I'm trolling through and I find the first, you know, enemy combatant that's fallen over, you know, and I walk up to his body, I have twice as good of a chance of finding an AR. So I can grab his AR, and I'm going to find 2 to 3 times more of these on the battlefield for battlefield pickups as you are your AK. So therefore, do I need to be more reliable than you? Because I can get 2 to 3 times more of these readily available than you can get your AK. And that does kind of stun me, doesn't it? So there's a lot to this debate if people are being respectful and honest about it. Now, there's all of these idiots out there that are just going to say, you know, every AK sucks. It's the worst rifle ever. Only this. Well, that guy's hard to debate with. And then you're going to have the other guy here that's like, this is the only thing that's reliable. An AR will break every time you shoot it. Well, that guy's hard to deal with too, right? So in the end, I like both. You know, I can carry a lot more ammo in this than I can a 7.62x39 AK for the same weight. Now the AK guy can come back and say, well, the AK-74. Okay. That's fine. Well, the only problem with that is once you get into the 74, now it even gets a lot harder to find ammo than it does the 7.62x39. If we were living in many other countries of the world, Middle East, many parts of Africa, right? The former Yugoslavia, even lots of parts of Eastern Europe. You know, I could say, you know, this would right here would come a lot closer. But here's the problem. Not really problem, but here's the thing. We live in America, and this is America's rifle. Now, in my collection, I own a good bit of ARs. I love this rifle. It's a great rifle. And no, this is not a Bushmaster, whoever asked earlier. But I own AKs over ARs at a good ratio. I don't know the exact number on the top of my head because I'm trying to remember how many ARs I have. And it kind of gets confusing how many ARs do you have? Because some of them I have one lower that I'll swap 3 uppers on in completely different calibers. So is that 3 guns or 4 guns, or is it only 1 gun, or is it like 2? I mean, it gets, I don't know. But if you talk like guns that are all like, you know, completely assembled at any given time, I probably own like a 6-to-1 or 7-to-1 ratio of AKs over ARs. But again, this is America. This is America's rifle. Way more of these around, okay, in the United States. Yes, there's heaps of how's it going, by the way, Braster? Just saw you come in here. Yeah, he brings up a good point. Plenty of 7.62x39 ammo. Army has heaps of it, and cartels too. Yes, but I don't know. I think the Army has heaps of 7.62x39, but probably like 100 times bigger heap of 5.56. So I still think, you know, the 5.56 as well as the AR or M4 or M16 platform, whatever, I think that it's still way more prolific in the U.S. than any type of Kalashnikov. So, but yeah, I'm an AK guy, by the way. I'm just trying to, and just so you guys know, though, any of you that are a little bit newer, I'm playing devil's advocate on myself, but not just to do it, because I truly believe the AR-15 guys do have very, very valid arguments. 100%. I'm still an AK guy. I hope I didn't sound like I was contradicting myself, because I really don't have contradictory beliefs on it. I really do believe both. I just personally choose an AK. Jay Garcia, clickbait all you want. The Yankee Marshal does. Well, it was kind of more of a joke, you know, really. But yeah, the Yankee Marshal does like crazy. But I guess I did, actually. So in the end, it wasn't really quick clickbait. We're talking about it right now. I just lost another 150 subs because of it. So, I mean, I don't think I really did. Hopefully I didn't. Subs are hard to get, especially with how much they like to shadow ban gun tubers. This week, it seemed like there were some people in here before the stream started, so I think you guys got notifications. But a lot of weeks, I put it up 15, 20 minutes in advance so you guys can get alerts, and nobody's coming in. I start it. Everyone pops in, and I'm like, what's happening, guys? Where were you? And everyone's like, I didn't get a notification. I didn't even know you were on. I think it was 2-3 weeks ago. Half the people came in here an hour into it, and they're like, holy crap, we didn't know you were on. Still don't even have an alert. So they mess with us pretty hard on here. It's kind of like, and I'm not taking anything away from any of these guys. They were smart. They got into it before me. But anyone that wasn't GunTube and back in the day and didn't get their numbers up really high before the YouTube Admageddon part 1, 2, and 3 and all this stuff, it's hard to get a channel going nowadays. It really is. YouTube's not giving us a fair shake. I don't think anybody thinks that they are. I don't even think they pretend they are, to be honest. So it's not like I'm trying to spread some conspiracy here. I think it's common knowledge YouTube's not promoting gun channels or populating them in the algorithms and the search tags and all that the same as they are virtually any other topic there is. So, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, like Francis P. was saying earlier, I guess people like the ergonomics of the high power over mag capacity. And that's why it's everybody's preference. I mean, clearly there's different ergonomics, even like if you're talking AR versus AK again. The ergonomics are clearly different. Clearly. And even amongst the different, M4, AR-15 platforms, right? Completely different. This is closer to an A2 type, right? This is going to fit people's bodies completely differently. Does it still have the same basic controls? Yes, but somebody might like this. I like a little carbine or a rifle as far as that goes with the fixed stock. I'm real comfortable with the AR with an A2 or even the A1, which is just about, half inch shorter. I like that a lot. Other people I know, if it doesn't have a telescoping stock on it, they don't want it at all. So, yeah. Tactical reviews. You're giving it up too early, man. You're supposed to say the only way you're going to know what kind of AK I got is you got to stop by the channel daily and wait for the video. I'm going to be your PR agent eventually. Tactical review. He's like, no. I want my channel to grow, dude. Never mind. I won't do that. I do want your channel to grow, so I won't be your PR agent. Trust me. The dude's like, man, I just lost half my subs the day this guy came in and tried to. Regardless, shout out to Tactical Review anyways. And I do mean with the best of intentions. M4 Johnny's. He's collecting all the Swiss guns, the 5.53Rs and 7.62 by 39. Not a bad idea, actually. Those are going to go up in price. Pretty good. Raphael says, where he lives, there's a war of traffickers. And my community is watching a good shooter. You live in the United States, I assume, somewhere? Traffickers doesn't sound like a good thing, so make sure you're well armed, man. Vanessa Kitty says they can't have the scorpions there. Gotcha. Oh, I think Raphael answered my question earlier and said American. Let's see here. Let me fast forward here and see. See, I'm still way back in the chat right now. I'm trying to see if I missed anything good. If anyone's going to DC on the 2nd of November, hit up Strike 9. See, Cave Dave's up at the cabin this weekend and may do some trout fishing, but probably a working weekend. I got to work all weekend. See, that's where Cave Dave, if they have any kind of band, that's where all of his bump stocks went, all of them. I mean, he went fishing. There was a trout that was so big when he went to reel it in, it tipped his boat over. And that's why he has no assault weapons, quote unquote. He has no bump stocks. And we're all witnesses. We saw the trout pull his whole boat over sideways, so. Sorry, they're all gone. Matt Morrison, blasphemy, holding an AR. Hold on a minute. Now, I will say this. As far as ergonomics of holding a rifle during a stream, right? The AR is a little more ergonomic because the 9-curve mag gives a little more comfortable armrest, and it's a little bit lighter. So the ergonomics of just holding something in your hands while you're streaming, the AR does win. But just for Matt Morrison, okay, I'll get myself back in gear again. People hate this. Don't point that at me. Don't point that at me. Well, if you were actually here, I wouldn't, but somehow people say that. Oh, boy. I need to catch up on the chat, guys. I'm still back from like 10 minutes ago. Sorry about that. Trying to speed read, guys. Strike 9. What about the Vepr 12? Can't think of a situation where I wouldn't want one. I do enjoy the Vepr 12. I've got two of them. One with the fixed wood stock and another one with the side folding stock. One of them that was, functional, but it had the little tack weld when it was imported. So I just busted that tack weld with a Dremel real quick, and it folds. Speaking of Kalashnikov 12 gauges, remind me later, guys. There was a steal on them, like literally last week. Did anyone get one of those Lynxes, the Lynx 12 from Classic for $299 with a nickel carrier? If you guys did, let me know. If you didn't, there's going to be a video on one pretty soon because when those hit $299, I couldn't not get one. They're a Chinese, kind of Sega clone. Sega Vepr, more of the Sega though. They use the Sega pattern parts, Sega mags, Sega muzzle devices, stuff like that. But yeah, the Chinese Kalashnikovs, which have always actually been pretty good Kalashnikovs. It's just due to bans from, well, a couple different bands really, but mainly the Bill Clinton ban. No more Chinese stuff unless it's a shotgun. Romeo, how's it going? Sorry you're late. No problem, man. You're not too late. Yeah, like Dr. Review said, changing notifications. There you go. Matt Morrison didn't get a notification. I know this stuff always happens. Like, I'm not just making this up. And a lot of guys do. Look, a lot of guys do like grovel for money, gun tubers. I get it. Some of them go too far and come off a little greedy. I totally get that too. But I don't think they're lying when they're always complaining like, look, YouTube's just taking subs away and they're demonetizing this and they're shadow banning that. Like, I see it on a really, really small scale here because I'm a really small channel, right? But just by the numbers and analytics I have to work with, it's kind of obvious what they're doing. I have friends in real life that sub to the channel, and I'll be like, well, what do you think of my video I put out today? Oh, you put out a video today? Was just talking to somebody on the phone just before this stream. Hey, man, see you in the stream. What'd you think of my video today? He's like, what video? He's subscribed to me with the bell turned on. Didn't get a notification. So that's how I know for a fact that these things really do happen. Let's see here. Oh, and now he's talking about it too. See, I'm trying to catch up on the Bradford saying he's thinking about going to the AR due to health reasons. Well, it is less recoil generally and a little more, ergonomic. As a matter of opinion, many people think it's more ergonomic, Oh, Francis was talking about High Point earlier. What were you saying about High Point? That was a while ago. Fierce Mouse, what's happening, man? He says he loves his ARs and loves his AKM, but Glock 19 is what's on me all day. Yeah. Is a rifle better than a pistol for most circumstances? If you're in, like, war, of course. But what do we have on us all day? Usually a pistol or two, maybe. Now, more FUDs have the 7.62 39 SKS and the AR-15. Maybe, but they have more and more of the Ruger Mini 14s than they do either, right? Michael Science, you're an M1A fan, you said, right? Well, M14 clone fan. We have to watch ourselves. I don't want to talk about M1A. And I know what you mean, but the M1A specifically is made by a company that I do not like. But You're probably in the same boat as me. I bought my M1A years ago before they sold gun rights up the river and tried to collude with the Illinois government to. It sucks, but yeah. I have an M1A. If I didn't already have one, I wouldn't buy one now. But I'd like to try to call it more of a I like to call it more of a M14 clone, just because I really don't like to do any advertising for that piece of shit company. You know, gosh, they piss me off. And I like a lot of their guns that they sell too, that they don't even make, by the way. HS2000, great gun. I wish they'd still sell them as HS2000s. Then I could get a couple more. Make 545 great again. That'd be a good hat to have, actually. Here's the thing. Nobody cared about the 545. When the 7N6 ban was proposed, heck, not only did nobody care, but half the AR guys were saying, who cares about that? That's stupid. I hope it goes through just so that it'll get that stupid AK-74 out of the debates. Like, I'm not even joking. I saw that. I shouldn't say half, but a lot of freaking AR guys said that. Kind of pissed me off. Because you know what? Look, I'm both. Like I said earlier, I'm both AR and AK fan. Fine, but I'm more of an AK fan. And guess what? Barely any of the AR guys would help me fight to keep the 7 and 6. But guess what? When they came by and did the M855 ban, I was right in there, calling my congressman, writing, in the public comments against it. We won the M855 ban battle. We lost the 7 and 6. Why? Because a lot of gun owners don't really care about each other. I hate to say it. It's sad. I know you guys do. I'm preaching to the choir, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I've said this a million times. I'll say it 100th time because I don't care, because I mean it. I have some of the best gun guys in my streams, and I'm really lucky to have you people in here, But there's a lot of gun owners out there that would love to eat their own, that would love to see the Kalashnikov go, would love to see a certain caliber go. And it happened with the 7 and 6. I watched it happen. There were AR guys actually cheering about it. And I just told you guys earlier, I'm an AK guy. And many of you guys are too. But we better protect the AR-15 because that's the one in the news that they're after. They get rid of America's rifle. These things are gone in 30 seconds. No, not 30 seconds. I don't want to lie to you guys. These are gone in 1/30th of a second. Because the same ban that bans the AR-15 bans these. And yeah, it does suck that if the AK specifically was the one they were after, a lot of people wouldn't care. It's starting to change. A lot more AK guys now than there once were, but yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys have ran into these type. And not the AR guys in here, because I'm fully aware of some of you guys. I'm reading the comments. I know you guys from other streams and videos, There's a lot of AR guys in here. I don't mean you guys. I don't mean all the AR guys. I mean those kinds of AR guys that are like, I'm an AR guy, and all Kalashnikovs need to be destroyed. I don't know. I'll stop ranting. There you go. Fierce Mouse is an AR guy here. There you go. But you're not that type of AR guy. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Just like I'm not an AR guy per se, but I am too, though, right? I'm both. Vanessa Kitty, I want to make all explosives legal again. And that's the thing. My opinion, artillery, the modern equivalency of cannons, should be totally legal. Now, I do stop there with that, nukes. But that's because I don't think nukes should exist, period. Okay? So, no, I don't think civilians should be able to own nukes. But that's because I don't think that our proper armed forces should have nukes either. Now, I get it. We need to have them because Russia has them and other countries have them. I know that. Once you start the ball rolling. So, no, I'm not saying that we disarm the United States of all of its nukes so that only North Korea has them. That's not my point. But if I could actually sit there and wave a magic wand and that nukes had never been invented, I wish nobody had nukes. So that is where I will draw the line. Other than nukes, though, the way I read the Second Amendment is, yeah, we need to be armed equal to our standing army. And I say army in the vague sense, our armed forces, because it's all about resisting a tyrannical government. It's all about if the government ever becomes tyrannical, right? For the patriots that are in the armed services, they're going to leave the armed services. They're going to leave. You know, they take an oath. Yes, they have a chain of command. And many people will follow chain of command, but I believe many of them are going to take their oath seriously and say, no, I swore an oath to the Constitution. And I don't care if it's a, you know, brigadier general, a major general, a lieutenant general, general of the armed forces. If he makes me break my oath, I can't listen to that command because it's unlawful. So they're going to leave and go back into becoming civilians again. And we kind of sort of need whatever the Army has at that point. I don't know if you guys look at it the same way, but yeah. If it protected cannons back in 1791 when ratified, then it probably protects a howitzer battery today, right? I mean, that's my opinion. Good night, Francis. Let's see here. Texas outlaws a lever gun guy, which is just fine, obviously. You know, I've got a few lever guns myself. Not my main thing, but I do love them. I've got, you know, a full-length rifle, you know, 1894 Winchester. I've got a couple Winchester 1894 saddle ring carbines. You know, the old ones. Seth, how's it going, man? What's happening, Seth? Oh, like Brassard said, tanks will make good targets for my ATGMs. There you go. Which we should be allowed to own. I think Michael Science was agreeing with me that nukes are just bad, period, right? I think that's how I read that. I got a speed read, by the way, too, just so I can, because I do like to read everything I can in here. And if I miss something, just repeat yourself, guys. And if you do at 2A, EDU, then it'll be in orange, and I'll even have a better chance of seeing it, you know? Fierce Mouse is talking about muzzle brake that he likes from Midwest. That sounds pretty cool. 2-chamber muzzle brake. I can see that. Yep, like Tactical Review says in the good book, it says, you know, a house divided against itself cannot stand. That's true. See, we're never going to have it as easy as the anti-gunners. Look, they're all zombies and lemmings. They easily get behind David Hogg or some 12-year-old or moms demand attention or whatever, and they easily just fall in a single file line because they can't think for themselves. The problem we have is we can think for ourselves, so it's hard to get us all to get in a straight line, and it sucks. It's kind of a blessing and a curse. Being the smarter person can be better to a point, but I hate to say it, sometimes having a bunch of idiots that'll simply just fall in line and follow orders does help win wars too. What do you guys think? I mean, for you service members out there, there's a reason there's a lot of grunts and a lot of just regular, you know, privates and, you know, lance corporals and things like that, because if everybody was a general, what would happen? If you literally had 1,000 generals there trying to decide what to do for the day, makes it a little bit tough, doesn't it? Yeah, there you go, Jeremy Wilson. I love my ARs, but I won't dare tread on the 74U. Exactly, and it's good to hear, but I knew you guys weren't that type anyways. I mean, there might be one person in here, the person that just left, you know, just now might have been that. But you guys know I wasn't talking to you guys. I mainly am just, you know, preaching to the choir in here, but it's fun. It's fun. Geez, you guys are talking about some old war relics. Wow, M48 Patton tanks. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Jeremy Wilson. Why can't they be like car guys and be an admirer of all body styles, regardless of the make? There you go. Yeah, I know there's definitely some veterans in here. How many veterans do we have in here, by the way? I know who a few of you are. Veterans or active duty? Is there any active duty in here? Reserves? Any enlisted officers? Let's see here. I doubt we have any generals in here, so That's why I ripped on the generals and said if we had too many generals, we'd be screwed, because I'm pretty sure I don't have any generals that are sub to me. But maybe I do. All right, we've got Air Force in here, retired. Vanessa Kitty, thank you for your service, ma'am. I know we got more vets than just her in here. E-Rock, how's it going? Yeah, what happens with the nukes if, yeah, like Jeremy's saying, if several countries start letting them go, well, that's basically the end of the world, right? So, Seth and Brastard are having a little tank conversation. Yeah, Brastard does find some cool stuff. That bulletproof glass substance he had the other day was kind of interesting. I think that was Lexan. Lexan, you know, material. Is that what that was, Brastard? I know I left you a comment in there. Speaking of which, I have another review coming up. So for you AK guys, you know the so-called Polish mags that we all know are IO mags? Well, the newest one that Sweaty Ben was promoting, this is the new Gen 3 so-called, okay? Now, look, I did this so you guys don't have to, but I bought 2 of them, guys, to do a review on. And they're supposedly Lexan mags. The Polish waffle pattern, and if you watch the classic video, they even stayed in there. Look, these are EU military approved. These are mil-spec. These are this. These are that. These are everything, right? Well, they're $4.99. So I bought 2 of them, guys, just so you don't have to. Yeah, this is another Polish mag, Seth, but this is the Gen 3, okay? With the all-improved, I know, space age type Lexan material. Now, if it's really Lexan, that is actually used in so-called bulletproof glass. So that's why I mentioned this. Fierce Mouse, heck yeah. I concur with what Fierce Mouse just said. So I'm going to basically copy here what Fierce Mouse said, giving Fierce Mouse the credit, and I just seconded his motion. So for those of you that aren't following the chat, sucks to be you, because Fierce Mouse just gave you guys a good recommendation, and it's going to be your loss. But hey, you got to go in the chat to see the little secret passwords and stuff that are getting exchanged in here, guys. Let's see here. You guys are talking about tanks and nukes, and I mean, nukes kind of make the AR versus AK thing a little bit moot, but then again, Eric Swalwell, if we don't turn these in, I think he pretty much said he's going to nuke us, didn't he? You guys remember that? Eric Swallowswell? I think that's the proper pronunciation, right? Tactical review. Almost bought some. Changed his mind after 2 minutes. Look, I will tell you this, and Mateo will vouch for me on this. They do actually fit pretty good into the KS. I don't know if there's any other KS-47 owners out there. I know Mateo's got one. Where's my KS? I know there's a KS around here somewhere, guys. Yeah, Now the question is, do I have any of those IO mags? I had one that I was using to make fun of and to torture, but I did find they actually fit. The IO mags fit good into this. So, I don't know. We'll see if the new generation is new and improved or what. Like I said, I bought 2. I'm not telling you guys not to buy them, but it's been known in the past that they've always been the IO ink. These supposedly aren't the IO Inc. ones. These are this new and improved, and I mean, just whatever. I need to stop saying whatever, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of, look. As soon as you get rid of certain types of guns, then we're going to see knife deaths going up more. Knives are already responsible for way more deaths, by the way, than any type of rifles, okay? But we'll even see more knife stabbings go up. Then they start taking away the knives. then we're going to see more sticks and stones and you know, pieces of blunt tools and rebar deaths, right? And fertilizer and such. I mean, come on. Yeah, Vanessa Kitty Eric swallows well, I think is the correct. I don't know. That's Texas Outlaw. Am I pronouncing that right, Michael? Eric swallows well, the congressman that said he's going to confiscate our guns, and if we don't, he has nukes. I think that's the proper pronunciation. Uh-oh, he's pointing a chaos little receiver at us. Uh-oh. Brrr, brrr, brrr. Inevitably, there's always somebody, though. Like, I'm not even, just so you guys know, there's something called a wide-angle camera. So if, hypothetically, your body was this tall, because that's how big the lens is, it's 1/4 of an inch, and you were directly behind it, I'm still not muzzling. I'm not pointing it at my camera. It never fails. There's always somebody that's like, don't point that gun at me. Dude, you're not freaking here. And second of all, even if you were, I'm still not pointing it at you. It's just funny. It's really funny. There's other vets in here. They're being shy, but until then, Vanessa Kitty's the only real vet in here. The rest of them are all just fake ones. That's a bad joke. It's an inside joke. Somebody gets it, trust me. The person I was making it at gets it. What are we talking about here? Yeah, fertilizer. I mean, it makes your plants grow really well, obviously. Nitrogen. I thought I saw someone come in here. Is it Ariana Camfield? Yeah, Ariana. I know who you are. How's it going? It's all in black because I have a black screen on here and your avatar is completely black. Ari for short, right? Vanessa Kitty. Vets being shy. There's vets in here that didn't serve and vets that did serve, and there's shy ones in here, trust me. Wait, tactical review saying there was a guy. I laughed with a guy at Rule King. Oh, okay. The gun guy about having to be escorted out after buying a stripped lower. All right, for all of you new people in here, here's a stripped lower. These are here waiting for the G2S video because I actually got these for free by buying the G2S. But stripped lower. This is legally an AR-15. So this is the part that's the firearm. This is the part that has the serial number. This is legally the gun, right? Everything else is just simply an accessory or a part. So they're worried about this. So I guess, you know, in theory, you could, I mean, what could you do with this? I don't know. But yeah. Legally, this is the firearm right here. This is the gun. This right here definitely not a gun, right? In fact, this isn't even the gun itself until you hollow out the magwell area where it can accept the magazine, and until you start to put in the pins, the pinholes here that can house the fire selector group. If you get rid of these two holes in this magwell area, this actually wouldn't be a firearm either. Which it's all just semantics because it doesn't really matter anyways. You can ban it and all that stuff, but people already know how to make these anyways. And you can't really stop computer code, so all of their bans are making less and less sense, and it's just disarming good people because bad people with a 3D printer and with free source code that they can't stop no matter what they do because it's the internet, they've all got it anyways. I thought I saw somebody else sneak in here. Besides Ariana, who else is here? Dauntless Defense. How's it going, man? Let's see here. We've got Oh, Jeremy Wilson, you have too many guns when it gets where you can't find them. LOL. You can never have too many. Yeah, that's why people have asked me before, how many guns do you have? And it's real simple. I've got more than I need, but not as many as I want. So that's the answer. Braster, yeah, I think the 50 BMG ones they are starting to consider, which is a bunch of crap, actually. Yeah, that is a good point, Vanessa. Make everybody felons for free forced labor? I hope not. It's been done in other countries, though, right? These people did that. Y'all ever heard of a gulag before? These guys right here are given the perfect blueprint for exactly how to do that. See, the hammer and sickle? It's all been written. It's all in history in the last 100 years. Exactly how a country can get a bunch of forced labor and lots of, quote, disposable troops to send people with Mosin Nagants on bayonet charges against Panzer tank divisions. Mateo and I one time were talking, and we looked it up too. A Panzer tank division was a lot bigger than what we thought it was. Do you remember, Mateo, how many? There's a lot of tanks and people in a Panzer tank division. But yeah, they grab guns like this right here. Oh, I've got one over here. So you basically affix your bayonet to this M1891. This particular one made in 1898. This is an antique right here. Okay, this is not a Title I firearm, by the way, guys. This is actually not a Title I firearm at all. This is an antique, 1898. Think of that. You'd send what they call the human wave. Affix a bayonet. Okay? Charge against Panzer tanks. Yeah, it might be outdated by today's technology, but this was state-of-the-art tank at the time. And by the way, the tanks back then, in certain ways, now they weren't technically as good in battle for many other reasons, but these tanks back then, they tended to be even heavier a lot of times than any modern vehicle we have. So you're literally charging tanks, right, with this thing, with a bayonet affixed. Usually you'd send the guy ahead with the bayonet affixed and just maybe a small amount of ammo, a couple stripper clips, right? Now, the wave behind them, the rank, if you want to call it that, the rank behind them, the second rank, no ammo. Because what would happen is the guy in the rank ahead of you would get killed so quick, you were supposed to lean down and pick up the ammo off of him, and now you have some ammo. Sometimes just sending people out by the thousands with no ammo at all. Just these with bayonets. And there's a roadmap for that, if that's what people want. Obviously, we don't want. I'm just saying. Seth, I have enough guns to make an African warlord proud. Oh, geez. I do have quite a bit of Kalashnikovs, and that's kind of their thing, isn't it? Tactical review. He says he regrets not buying a Mosin. The last time Dunham had them for $70. Yep. No, I totally hear you, man. These here were probably never quite 70. This has an M91, and with this being particularly an antique, these have always been more desirable. Because there's lots of reasons why people like to have one of these. You know what I'm saying? So this doesn't fall under the different, regulations that other ones do. Let's see here. Looks like somebody came in here. Jet001. How's it going, Jet? Nice to see you, man. Jet came in just in time to see the antique Mosin. This is the long one. That's why I have to get so far away from the screen so I don't knock my camera and my monitor open. I mean, this is the full length As most of you are familiar with the 9130s, they're a long rifle, right? This is the original M1891 before they lopped a few inches off the front of it. So this is what you call a full-size service rifle, right? Big piece of wood here. I do like to carry a big piece of wood on this channel, just so you guys know. You come here, you're not going to have to worry about any small wood, only big wood here. So I mainly people like this channel, you know, due to my good looks and the size of my wood, but other than that, they're mainly just here for the chat. So yeah, it is a big rifle. And I'm going to go more into this rifle in its own video, so I won't give away too much, but there's a couple little unique features to this one that are kind of cool. A couple really, really old features, actually. Yeah, Vanessa Kitty, absolutely. Polished wood, of course. I always try to keep my, you know, wood well polished. And no, I didn't see the M91s. Is this a recent thing, Brastard? He's talking about a bunch of them that got cut up. Okay, Dauntless Defense. He comes to the channel due to the size of wood and the... No, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said, I just enjoy you and the learning library. Thanks, man. No, I do appreciate you, Dauntless. You're a good dude. Uh-oh, Mama's calling. You better get to bed, Dave, before you get in trouble, man. We want to be able to see you next time, too. So, have a good one, man. I don't know who that Glock Shooter 79 is. That must be 2A-EDU's cousin. Vanessa Kitty came here for the math. 762 by 54R. There you go. Oh, the Swiss 1911. I've got one of the Swiss 1911 rifles too. You know, the only gun I have that I think is a little bit longer than this is my Gervais 88, otherwise known as the commission rifle. I think we were measuring them one day, and it has the M1891 beat by just a little bit. That one's longer. Let me think of what else is here, because I do have some longer rifles here. I've got some old ones. Well, let's see here. Yeah. I just held it up, so I don't even need to get them out. I've got an 1898 Craig Jorgensen 3040 over here. This is about 2 inches longer than that. I've got a Gervais 98 Mauser. This is definitely longer than that. The only one that might be close. Let me go check out my 1896 Carl Gustaf's Mauser, that 6.5 Swede I showed you guys last time. Nothing wrong with a good-looking Swede, by the way. Anyone else think Swedes are usually pretty hot? I think I do have too many guns. I forgot which room. The Swede was in. So whoever said that earlier, you're a jackass, but you're right. Hold on. I'm forgetting which room guns are in now. Heck no. Not even close. This old girl's got at least an inch, if not an inch and a half, on the M96 Swede. Yeah, Jed, if you're into blondes, yeah. I mean, hey, I'm actually more of a brunette guy, to be honest with you. That's why I picked my beautiful wife, because I could have picked anything I wanted, but she's the prettiest one of all. But, you know, Swede's good. It's not like I have anything against a blonde, trust me. I don't have anything against any hair color, but kind of more of a brunette guy. Okay. I was gonna see if the Hakeem even had a chance. Hakeem? No. Heck no. Jeez, oh Pete. This Hakeem looks like a little kid next to this M1891. Somebody wanted to see the Hakeem. One of my Patreon supporters asked to see this, so finally got it up here to the shop for a relatively in the future video here. You guys ever heard of one of these before? Basically a clone of the AG-42. Looks like Lungaman, but I think it's technically pronounced Youngman, right? The Youngman rifle. Yeah, this is an 8mm Mauser version. And let me go let one of these rifles go because I don't have enough hands. My hands are overly full with really, really big wood at the moment, so just give me 1 second here. I'm going to knock my microphone off the table. All right. Oh, geez. How did he get here? Poor conservative. Isn't he the one I told you, Michael Syons, to watch out for him earlier? Did I not? So, okay. So, Vanessa Kitty's the most dangerous one here. And now the second worst one just showed up. So, well, she's not the worst one. I didn't mean it that way, Vanessa. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that as a put down. Please forgive me for putting you in the same group as poor conservative, okay? So, the meanest one, Vanessa Kitty's here. And then also, separately but not related to her, poor conservative's here. How's it going, poor conservative? Nice to see you, man. Are you happy to see me too? Doctor Review, I feel being poor and conservative. I do too, actually. I got to get this deck done, guys. I spent all my money on tracks. Until I can get this done, I'm pretty... Well, it's not that you've been bumped, Michael. It's just... Okay, don't tell poor conservative I said this, but I like you more than him. Because just reasons, okay? So it's not really that you got bumped. You got promoted. But, as I've said before, poor conservative's closer to me. He can come here and beat me up easier. So next time you see poor conservative, tell him I like him more, just so he stays over there on the left side of the state. You got me, right, Michael? Just between me and you, though. Okay? Don't say anything like this in public. All right. Jeremy Wilson, sub to see and learn about various firearms and to learn about different era weapons. And I hope I haven't let you down, man. Look, on my channel, and you guys probably already know this, but here's what you're going to be able to expect forever. On my streams, I like to be informative on my streams, but I like to hang out and be a little more loose and have some fun, which we're doing tonight. But we're still talking about a lot of gun stuff. I'm always going to want to do gun videos, whether it's reviews or history on them. And I'm also going to do political gun rights videos. So I know some of you mainly come for the gun rights videos. Some of you guys mainly come for the guns. And I appreciate all of you, regardless of why you're here, really. Because like I said, you guys are all pretty cool, you know. But yeah, it's kind of both here. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go shooting today. Hopefully someone else did, because I was battling rain and able to cut just a couple lawns all day because it rained all day long. Favorite wood? Yeah, see what you guys think. My favorite wood on a stock. Hold on a minute. Did you guys like this gun, by the way? I kind of asked you guys if you guys are familiar with it, but the chat scrolled by so fast, I wasn't sure. M4 Johnny likes it. Rockford Ordnance is here. See, I brought the old Hakeem out, and it drew Rockford Ordnance in. How's it going, Rockford? I know you came just to see this Egyptian Hakeem, didn't you? 8mm Mauser. Wanted to make sure that I had the safety on because, well, yeah, you guys know how these are. This, they call it Garand. You know, there's like the whole M1, you know, Garand thumb. where if you're not watching yourself with a Garand, now if you're loading a stripper clip or M-block clip rather properly, normally the projectile, the round slows down the bullet enough, but if you don't watch yourself, you can get what's called M1 Garand thumb. Now that's bad, but that's nothing compared to Hakeem thumb. Hakeem thumb could be like Hakeem hand, arm, even possibly whole body. So yeah, definitely not fun. The old Hakeem thumb. Poor conservatives right in between. So yeah, so as you're on your way to have my back, Michael, poor conservatives got time to intercept you and have you join his side. I see what's going on here. A little collusion. Johnny Powell stuck in Panama. That's right. That's right. You have told me that before, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. You're not allowed to have any guns, but let me ask you, Johnny, why are you interested in guns? You know, just from a historical standpoint, you know, you said no guns allowed. Does that mean you can't own them at all? I'm not familiar with your laws, to be honest. So trust me, man, I'm not being sarcastic at all. I literally am just not, you know, familiar. Fierce Mouse, he's from Utah, and the first thing he has to specify is he only has one wife. That's freaking hilarious, man. Matt Morrison, yeah, the FM49 is another nice gun. I've got one of those too, and 8mm Mauser. If you guys are interested in that. Seth says it's good looking. My favorite wood is probably the old school black walnut. You know what I mean? Let me see if I've got... Yeah, I've got something here. You know, like what you'd see on a... I mean, shoot, the U.S. used black walnut for many years, decades, in fact. You can go back to the old trapdoors, right? The Craig Jorgensen rifles, to the 1903, to the M1 Garand, to the M1 carbine. Just that old, pretty seasoned black walnut that gets dark with like almost a hint of black in it from all the oil over the years. Because these are what's considered an oil finish stock, right? As part of the regular maintenance, these would get oiled with a boiled linseed oil type, right? I keep knocking stuff off my desk here, but I don't know. I like it. And here's the thing, too. Like, I really like a blonde wood on some of the, you know, Kalashnikovs I have, like the Chinese. There's something nice about that blonde wood. I even like the orange, you know, lacquered chew wood that's on the Chinese AKs and SKSs. But if I had to pick one, there's something about this old American black walnut here. It just reminds me of a classy era of firearms, you know? I don't know about you guys, but I just love an old USGI rifle. Especially the Springfield 1903. These are good ones, guys. This is one of my favorites. It really, really is. Don't want to forget about the 1917 over there, the Eddystone. Same thing, the walnut stock. So that's my answer. Long answer to a short question, I know. Okay, some of you guys agree it looks like too. Yeah, Seth, I agree with you, man. See, that's the problem. Once I start thinking about it, it's back to the normal answer. All of them are my favorites, you know? All of them are my favorite. He's talking about, you know, the Russian SKS wood. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks, Texas Outlaw. Yeah, I really like this one a lot. This is an older one. This is an original model 1903. It's got a serial number, you know, 856,000. So this is an original 1903. This is before they came up with the A3 updates. So I know we collectively call all of them 1903s, but many of them were actually 03s and A3s and A4s. Yeah, this is just a literal model 1903. And on the scope of the production run of these, this is an older one. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I looked this up, and this one was made in 1917. So this would be a World War I gun. Rebarreled in 1932. Very, very common to have these rebarreled, by the way. Very common. A lot of these saw their duty in World War I. Rebarreled, put back into service in World War II. Many, many of these guns were used in World War II. There's your flaming bomb. And you can see 8 of 32 there. SA, okay. Springfield Armory, flaming bomb. No, that's not the traders. That's somebody that took their name and added USA at the end. This is the original U.S. Ordnance Depot, you know, Springfield Armory. So the other company that took their name and then added something at the end, I don't like to talk about them. I don't like that company. But I will talk about the actual Springfield Armory. And I hate that I even have to give those qualifiers, but I had somebody, and it's like, man, you don't know me at all. Not too long ago, they're like, where are you talking about Springfields and blah, blah, blah? Dude, I'm not talking about the same Springfield you think I am. Just because somebody else took their name, basically, and added something to it that I don't like, doesn't mean I can't talk about these guys. And it's a crappy situation, but whatever. I'm not going to let these old guns die and not talk about them because they were made by a company that made the guns that won 2 different world wars. I mean, this is United States heritage and history here. And then another company took their name and then sold all the Illinois gun shops up the river, gun rights up the river. What a shame. That's actually what makes me so mad about that company that Mr. Reese owns, is he did it under a name that sounds a lot like this. I mean, how much worse could it even get? The A2 style AR with wood furniture. I was just talking to someone about wood furniture on an AR the other day. Rockford Ordnance just got a Garand. Yeah, I love my Garands too, man. I've got a World War II era Garand and then a Korean War era. Same nice walnut wood, right? Congratulations, man. Yeah. Well, when it was owned by the War Department. Exactly, Rockford. But here's the deal. That new company, it's not even the same name. They added USA at the end, which technically legally makes it a separate entity, right? And the War Department owned it, and it was a actual United States arsenal, just like Rock Island, okay? You Illinois people would know about Rock Island, right? The old Rock Island being in Illinois. Well, then they basically went under because they were another Army, you know, ordnance maker and supplier. And then now we have a foreign company, which I know a lot of you guys like their guns. And as far as I'm concerned, Armscore, you know, Philippines, they've not done anything against the Second Amendment that I'm aware of. If they have, let me know. But, you know, Armscore basically used the name Rock Island in the same way that Mr. Reese, that owns that trader company, he just took the name, right? No different between if you buy a Rock Island 1911 today, it has nothing to do with the old arsenal in Illinois. And if you buy a Traders Company's thing today, it has nothing to do with the original Springfield Armory. It's just not the same. And no, they didn't actually even buy them out. They were just literally not, they didn't exist anymore. They basically went under, is what happened. Here's another old one right here from Springfield Armory, U.S. This rifle was made in 1901. This is back under the even older typeset where they used to put it on the side here. U.S. Model 1898, Springfield Armory. Now, this gun was made right up and actually overlapped for about a year with the 1903 that I just showed you. So this is just going back one series of history. The U.S. rifle. This specific one's the model 1898. Now, these were collectively known as the Craig Jorgensens, right? But there were several different Craigs, right? This being the 1898. So basically one of the newer generations of them. Used a very interesting type magazine that's loaded from the side here, right? A side loading magazine that actually kind of comes up in like a circle. Okay, so it's like a cylinder type magazine, if you will. Great rifles in and of their own right, too. Really good rifles. These had a very, very, very short service history. I think the only rifle with a shorter mainline service history than this was the M14. As far as being frontline. Now, I know you guys are going to say they still use some M14s today in very limited use. The Navy uses them on ships and stuff. I know that's true. But as far as it being like, you know, the mainline rifle, I believe the M14 is the shortest lived U.S. service. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. And then this would be the second shortest U.S. service rifle. These were the thing for about, 10 years or so, really, is about it. 3040 Craig Jorgensen. From what I understand, one of them developed the round, the other developed the action for the rifle. Or it might have been the magazine was what one of the guys patented. The one guy invented the magazine and something else on the rifle. But yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I don't have anything against Rock Island. By the way, I was just giving you guys an analogy as far as that they both took old U.S. Ordnance Arsenal's names and made it their modern name. That's the only analogy. That traitorous company, as far as I understand, Rock Island isn't in that boat. And I told you guys to correct me if I'm wrong, but did anybody hear? I've never heard anything bad about. I haven't heard anything bad whatsoever about Armscore being anti-2A. Right, Braster, the M14 is still in use, and that's why I predicated my statement and said, yeah, there's still very limited uses of it, but it's often been said that it's use as a frontline service rifle. The main primary issue was the shortest one, right? What are we looking at here? Yeah, the Finnish M27. That's a nice one too. I love the Finnish M27 Mosins. Oh, Johnny Powell. Okay. You're a sailboat captain. You live in Florida. Oh, I got you. I thought you said something about you being in Panama. Oh, you're stuck in Panama. My bad. Okay. That makes sense now. So you're a boat captain and you're stuck at port. All right, man. I definitely got the wrong impression. Definitely. But yeah, no BSA, right? And in England anymore. Or UK properly, right? Yeah. I totally thought you were saying you lived in that you lived in Panama. Yeah, the V80. I was looking at those. I bought one of those $300 Lynxes, one of the Chinese Sega variants. It was just so cheap I couldn't afford not to. Even though I'm kind of broke right now, so I probably couldn't afford to either do it. Tree Guy, good night, man. Nice seeing you. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, guys, and then I'm going to show you this unboxing of this recent ammo I bought. Because I've had such a good time getting off on tangents with you guys. I forgot. See, I really don't want clickbait. I was joking when I said no, it was clickbait. I mean, look, here's what it came down to earlier, and I think we all had a good time with it. I don't mind having an AR-AK debate, but I'm not going to sit there and debate it in the fact of saying either suck, because I like them both. But I'm an AK guy, for sure. Guns are so complicated, guys. There's always like 5 or 6 pre-qualifiers, Like, look, I like them both. They're both just as good as the other one, but I'm still an AK guy, okay? Just give me 5 minutes, guys. I just need to go grab something else to drink real quick and stuff, and I'll be right back. Because I do want to show you guys some good ammo deals I got. I opened up some ammo on camera before in a video, and it seems like everyone liked it. And, wouldn't advocate you guys to panic buy. I don't even know if it's going to go up, but there's some smoking good deals right now, for sure. So I will be right back, guys. Oh, by the way, love the AR-15, guys. Mad respect to all you AR guys, but one more time, I'm an AK guy. Love the AR-15 and the G2C. All right, guys, I'll be back with you in 1 minute. There's this really good stream on right now. I don't know if you ever heard of this guy before, but I'm just going to finish watching his stream for just a minute here, and then I'll be back on. Now, for some reason, YouTube's not letting me see it, but I normally like to watch this guy. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him before, but if you guys are bored of my stream right now, head over to this guy's stream. He's a lot better than me, okay? And YouTube's not letting me watch his stream for whatever reason. So I think this kind of proves my point earlier about, yeah, I don't know why I don't like this guy, but go support this guy. Give him a thumbs up next time you see him. He's a good friend of the channel, okay? So as soon as I'm done watching his stream here, I'll be back with you guys. You know what I'm saying? No offense, but I like this guy more. No, it was kind of funny. Okay, look, this just shows you guys what's going on here. I was trying to make a joke, and I thought it'd be kind of cute to pull up my stream and show you guys on my phone, right? But no, it's still, even right now, I've got full Wi-Fi signal. It's still doing this. So I wonder who else is trying to watch my stream right now, but freaking can't. Isn't this a bunch of crap? Yeah, like Rockford said, this is a better channel anyway, so just stay here. And for those of you that YouTube's giving you the buffer circle of death for no good reason, this is what YouTube does. The man you wish you were is here, man. Cool. I was wishing you'd come tonight. I really was. I always like it when you're here. Explicit. I was hoping you'd be here too. Just watch my earlier video from today. Well, we already had the AR-AK debate, so, you know, luckily for you, you got to miss that. I do like what Vanessa Kitty said a minute ago. Basically, she said, buy one of each, rinse and repeat, something like that. That's what we should all do. Just buy them all. It doesn't matter. When SHTF, the credit card companies are going to fail, you won't have to pay your bill off anyways. Just buy all of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you guys the ammo I recently bought. And Johnny Powell's right. It does include one of the ones you said. Let me go move this caveman inferior com-block rifle out of the way, because just in the last few minutes, I became an AR guy just to piss people off. Let me move this out of the way and I'll get the ammo out. All right. Let me grab this box here. Ammo's heavy, but don't worry, guys. I'm extremely strong, so don't worry about me. It wasn't hard to pick it up at all. But for most people, that's a heavy box of ammo. Let's see here. Browser says they killed a black one over 100 years ago. Now, look, I'm sure it's out of context. Hopefully, you guys are talking about something different than what it looks like. It'll get lighter as you shoot it. But you know what I'm saying, Mateo? It's like, look, they're all light, right? When you got guns like this, they're all pretty light, okay? I mean, don't even worry about it, okay? Don't even worry about it, Rockford Ordnance. I got it covered here. We're not weaker than you Illinois guys. I know you guys think that, but these Michigan boys, we're stronger than you think we are. Jeremy Wilson's talking about animals where you live. Are you guys talking about Detroit? Okay. Anyways. Look, somebody just mentioned SG ammo. Love SG ammo. But lately, I've my last couple purchases have been from AIM. AIM's had great deals lately on like this Gecko ammo and their Wolf and their Tula ammo. And, you know, I appreciate the finer things in life, guys. I really do, but I'm not a steel case snob. I like steel case ammo. Reason being, half these guns I'm shooting it out of were designed, Michael Science, keep the change, you filthy animal. Here you go, Michael, just for you, okay? Don't worry about it. Whatever. We're tougher than Wisconsin boys too, so don't even worry about that either. Now look, steel cased ammo. I already lost 100 subs earlier when I did the AR AK debate, and then I even called someone a fake vat. They unsubbed. Now I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna try to lose all of them I can tonight. I like steel cased ammo a lot of times, and here's why. First of all, a lot of the guns I'm shooting them in, com block guns, they were designed to shoot steel case and shot steel cased ammo through, in most countries, most com block countries, their whole service life. So I would actually argue in some cases that the steel case works better. I've had better luck in Kalashnikov variants with steel, to be quite honest. And that's generally what they were designed for. Now, I know Yugoslavia was always a little different on all their guns. The variants were different, and they did use a brass case. Okay? But in general, actual, Russia, Soviet Russia, they liked using a lot of steel cased ammo. So I have some 5.45 by 39, and this is all from AIM Surplus, guys. Just so you know. And I got 2 stickers. Now, at first you guys are going to think I got an extra sticker because, I'm a YouTuber, right? No, that's not why. Well, because I'm such a good customer, right? No, that's not why either. I got 2 stickers because these were like so closely, they were stuck together. So when I pulled it out, I was like, oh, I've got a sticker. I was like, that feels a little weird. And I actually had to sit there, and then they separated into 2. So trust me, there were 2 stuck together. I've definitely not a paid shill. They didn't even mean to give me an extra sticker. So with that said, the 5.45 Tula ammo, $4.19 a box. This is 60 grain, steel cased, bird and primed. I've had good luck with this stuff. Would I rather shoot 7 and 6? Sometimes, yeah. I like to keep most of my 7 and 6 kind of up for safekeeping in case I actually need it, per se. But this is kind of nice, too, because it doesn't have corrosive primers. You don't have to worry about the fact that, it goes up in value every year because now it's collectible because of the ban, right? The men you wish you were? No, man, I'm just trying to be funny. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you having my back, buddy. Unsubbing over opinions. Now, I don't know if anyone's unsubbed or not. It's just, you guys know what I'm saying. I'm trying to be funny. You say AR versus AK, half the people hate you, the other half, then they all hate you. Steel cased ammo, it pisses off a lot of people. How many, videos or streams or, the old forums we used to all go to, or even chat rooms or old bulletin boards. That'll date me, guys. Back when you would dial in to somebody's bulletin board in your town, yeah. There's been steel case ammo debates going on since then. Since the day the internet was invented, people have hated this stuff. But does anyone else see where I'm coming from? Com block gun? Yeah. Probably the best ammo for it. Ooh, Braster just got me. Ooh. Yep, I'm a paid shell and hang out with Jaeger all day long. There you go. Just like when Jaeger had his 10,000 round test. But what he didn't tell you till it was done is he had 10 different people that each had their own G2C. Well, look, I don't care if you guys like Jaeger or not, but I got to call him out on this one. He did a 10,000 round G2C test. But then when it was done, he told you, well, this is what he meant by it. 10 different people had either G2Cs, some had PT-111, one guy even had the original Millennium, right? 10 different people. Each shot 1,000 rounds through their 10 different G2Cs in a training class. And somehow Jaeger literally parlayed this off as his 10,000 round G2C test. Now, we don't need a mathematician, but there is actually, we're lucky, and if she's still here, there is a mathematician in the house. So how is it? Now, look, I can't do this kind of math, guys. I'm not that smart, but we're going to do a 10,000 round G2C test. Okay, so does that imply 10,000 rounds through one gun? Because that's what I thought. But instead it was 10 separate people, each putting 1,000 rounds through each of their guns. So is that 10 1,000 round tests? Or is that one 10,000 round test like Jaeger said? Answer me, Vanessa Kitty. Did he do a 10,000 round test since 10 different people each fired 1,000 rounds to the G2Z? I don't know. I'm just saying. And I don't care whether you guys like him or not. There you go. One of those G2C's broken extractor. Glock killer. I actually know what you're talking about, Fierce Mouse. I remember reading your comment on my video. That famous video I was telling you guys about. Where, yeah, those guys are getting in there and they're like, oh, this is a Glock killer. Glock sucks now that the G2C's out. I've never said that. And I never will say that. Has my gun been great? Do I enjoy shooting it? Yes. This was $175, okay? No, I don't think this is actually better than a Glock. I don't. But is it the best choice for a lot of people? Especially people that can't afford a Glock? Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, okay, the Texas Outlaw chimes in. Vanessa Kitty says, ouch. The second choice definitely not correct. I have shot many more rounds in my life than 10,000. But you guys remember it. I mean, Fierce Mouse remembers it because he remembers the extractor that broke. He hyped this up for months. I'm going to do a 10,000 round test through one of these guns. Oh gosh. I was trying to finish this stream. Now all I'm thinking about is this. I go from the Jaeger 10,000 round test, and this is all I want right now, okay? And it won't even focus. But it's naproxen sodium, off-brand. And here's the problem. When this runs out, I'm going to have to find a different brand because, let's see, Walmart's anti-gun, Meijer's anti-gun, CVS is anti-gun, Walgreens is anti-gun, Publix is anti-gun, Aldi's is anti-gun. Good thing I got my hunting license, guys. Can't buy any more food or headache medicine ever for the rest of my life. We do have a garden, though. My wife is a good cook. She's not just the most pretty woman in the world, but she's the best cook, too. So we're going to have to really get resourceful. Uh-oh, Poor Conservative just took a shot. Poor Conservative versus Fierce Mouse. I got front row tickets for this one. Man, you wish you were shoot steel all the time. Okay, back on topic here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm always getting off topic. Shop on base. Befriend a vet. I only know a fake vet. I don't know any real ones, unfortunately. Inside joke, guys. Okay. 545. 60 grain. $4.19 a box. I've got 2 of them. 3 of them. 4 of them. And 5 of them. So, a couple 30-round mags and one of those 40-round mags. Almost. 45-round mags, almost full. 40 and a 45-round mag. I finally got it the third time. Or 3 mags full and some change, right? But yeah, grabbed 100 rounds of that. Good stuff. Now for that old antique back there. And it's, let me think here. I'm just going to throw out a round number because I haven't counted them in a while. But it's 50 or 60 other brothers and sisters it lives with. Some 7.62 by 54R. 148 grain. Now, those of you that have gotten one of the PSLs, whether you had one for years or whether you're just getting into one, this would be a good PSL ammo. For those of you whose firing pin is still puncturing primers, even that guy, which I've been following your videos, man. I was going to respond to you, but people have been giving you a bunch of measurements. You already know what's going on. 2-8 till death. He says, I work public. Spend my paycheck on them sexy assault weapons. Right on, dude. Right on. Right on, man. I used to work at Meijer, and you guys know. I hope you know 2-8 till death. I'm not knocking on people that work there. Look, you guys don't make those policies. You still got to make a living. And like I was saying earlier, you got to eat. You got to buy something somewhere. But I just remember Publix was one of those that popped up, you know, when I was doing the videos on the different anti-gun stores. But yeah, a lot of good people working there. So I hope you didn't think I was knocking you, man. It's just, yeah. But that's their policy from what I understand. 148 grain. This is nice for PSLs, like I was saying earlier. You fire too much of the heavier ball ammo in your PSL, you can start running into problems, okay? Awesome, Braster. Good to hear, man. You ever shoot any of this, Braster? This would be suitable for a PSL, I would say, by most people's standards, right? Anyway, so I got 1 box of this, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, and these 20-count boxes were $7.69 a box. So Not bad at all, right? About 35 cents a round or so. Maybe a little bit more than that, but yeah. Got some gecko. Now, speaking of 32, I bought a bunch of the Gecko 32 a while ago from AIM, right? They've been sold all out of this stuff. If you guys can find this again, this is the cheapest way to buy 32. This box is empty. No problems. But they did still have some 9mm Mac in stock. And this is the Gecko, brass cased. Okay. Not that I'm opposed to shooting steel cased. It's just for whatever reason, this stuff is on such a good deal right now. It was within like less than $1 of the steel case, so I just bought it. So I got 2 boxes, 100 rounds of Geico the Gecko, as Mateo said. The man you wish you were. How about a video shooting some of that 54R using one of your rifles? Not a bad idea, actually. I'd like to do that. I work so freaking much, guys. I do. I know it seems like I've got more ideas than I do videos, but I just don't have a lot of time. But I'm a big 54R fan, big Mosin fan. Quite a few Mosins. 9x18. Do I have a Makarov? Is the Pope Catholic? Yeah, oh yeah. I've got a couple true Makarovs. I've got some Makarov variants, you know, like the Polish P64. Which isn't necessarily a Makarov, but it's a variant. I'm sure you guys have seen my videos of my PM63C rack. You know, that also shoots this. That's actually where I eat the most of this up, is in that gun. With a little bit bigger, you know, standard capacity mags in it. White Space Marines, how's it going, man? His local Army Navy surplus just started carrying ammo. Real cheap, too. Right on. Man, you wish you were suggesting LAX. There you go. Check them out too, guys. Great deal. No, you're actually right, Vanessa Kitty. Yeah, I'm using it in the conventional sense, but I do know exactly what you're saying. What's happening, Jet? Came here just in time to see the 9mm Makarov. Just to fast forward, I showed you guys the 545x39, 5 boxes of that. 3 boxes of the 7.62x54R. And there you go. You're all caught up, Jet. 2 boxes of the 9mm Mac. And yes, I do have more than a couple Makarov chambered variant type guns. Oh, yeah. Let's see. I've been at this stuff for a long time, guys. Trust me, I don't go out and buy all these guns like every day. A lot of these I bought for really cheap way back in the day when a lot of these guns were kind of shunned. So for the 32 or, you know, 7.65 Browning, they were all out of the Gecko like I was just complaining about, right? So I grabbed some PPU. Good stuff. I was just talking about PPU last stream, wasn't I? Good ammo. In my opinion, generally not going to go wrong with almost anything these guys offer. Camera doesn't like it for some reason, but full metal jacket, 71 grain. I think it's because of this blue color. Actually, it's focusing way back here. That's weird. So I grabbed 3 boxes of this because, as someone mentioned earlier, definitely been buying quite a few 32s lately. And I have videos of me shooting like 3 different 32s. I have the footage, rather. I just have to edit them and do my little intro and stuff and put them up on YouTube. But you're definitely gonna, yeah, you're right, Vanessa. You're definitely gonna be seeing some 32 videos soon. The Beretta 81, that's in the queue. The little Zastava M70, M70-1, the little micro Tokarev in 32. I also shot the Vizor 50, VZ50 Czech gun. And there was one more 32. Did I say Beretta 81 already? Yeah, I took some 32s out and shot them just the other day. Just have to get the videos out there. Rockford's going to buy a Scorpion Evo. So the Scorpion Evo I bought. So it's basically the pistol, right? But it's got the carbine forend, and then it has like a a blast can on the front that looks like a fake, silencer that just sticks out just barely beyond the carbine forend, and I have the side folding brace on mine. So that's my favorite way to buy a Scorpion Evo, just due to the fact that that's what I bought. The side folding brace is plenty for me. It's only 9mm, so it's not like, the sponginess you'll get on a brace if you're firing more of a rifle caliber. So yeah, that's what I would do. So I think that's one of the options you gave me: the pistol, the carbine, or the pistol with the carbine forend. Yeah, pistol with the carbine forend, because there's that one little silencer, and I'm trying to remember the exact model of it, that you can just swap out the fake one, if you will, and put the real one in there, and it basically just barely peeks out in front of the handguard. Awesome, awesome, sleek look, 2A till death. All right, man, we're on the same page. Just trying to differentiate, between people that work there versus the man itself. When did you get in here, Americans First? You must have come in when I was on break. How's it going, man? Nice to see you. Good night, Michael Science. Got to see the 32 shootout. Yeah, like I said, I have 3 videos, and they're going to be coming out soon. So, all right, moving on right along. More steel cased. For, again, a gun that's completely great to shoot steel cased in, whether it be your AK, your SKS, your VZ58, right? Low battery on that business phone there. But yeah, 124 grain, full metal jacket, Wolf Military Classic. So I got 1 box of that, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And let me give you guys quick prices on those, actually. So this Wolf Military Classic, 7.62 by 39, $3.59 a box, which is great. This Makarov ammo was $10.50, 50 rounds of brass case. And as you guys know, you Mac fans, this always costs more than 9mm Parabellum, right? 9 by 19. That's a steal for this, $10.50. That's why I didn't even buy the steel case, because they're basically giving this stuff away. Yeah, I see how you are, Americans First, sneaking right in there, man. I'm glad you liked my video earlier, by the way, and I appreciate you recommending my video to other people. I've read everyone's comments, by the way, unless you guys left them after I started streaming on my video earlier. Just gave you guys a quick heart because I was working right up till dark, then had to load a bunch of lumber up after that. So, but I read what you guys said, and I appreciate it, Americans First. And all of you guys, of course. All right. Oh, the 32, the PPU. How much was this? $11.95 a box. So they did have the Gecko 32 for like the same $10.50 or something like that a box, but they're sold out right now. But $12 still isn't bad at all for 32. This is reloadable and stuff if you guys are into reloading 32. And then just because we were talking about it last week and it's such a great round, just decided to top off the old 6.5 Grendel stash a little more. 3 boxes of the 100 grain Wolf steel case. So figure a nice even 2 magazines worth, right? Can't have too much 6.5 Grendel, can you? Maybe you could, but I haven't gotten there yet. And the 6.5 Grendel costs me $5.19 a box. So pretty cheap. I wish Wolf made 300 blackout. What do you guys think of that? I really wish they did. That would be the day. Imagine getting 300 blackout for about $5 for 20 rounds. Wouldn't that be nice? That's all it would really have to cost if you think about it, because how similar is it to 7.62 by 39 as far as their actual cost and raw materials, right? Now, you're never going to get 300 blackout as cheap as 7.62 by 39. This is Rush's famous cartridge that they've made. This gets the bulk price, deal, right? Let me turn this little phone off so it stops blinking at you guys. I carry a couple phones, and my business phone is going to keep beeping low battery on us here until I turn it off. But yeah, I would expect if they could finally pull it off and Wolf or Tula Ammo could start making 300 blackout, I'd be willing to make a bet. It's not going to be $3.60. I bet you it's going to be closer to, your your $5 or so. Maybe a little cheaper, but you know, I could see it having more demand than this, but certainly probably less demand than this. So let's say 450 box, sound about right. Maybe even 5 at the highest end. That'd be awesome. Because you can do the math. And Lucky Gunner did a huge test, guys, on this. They really did. Their famous AR test shooting steel case. There was no negligible, there was like a negligible amount of difference as far as extractors and all these things people worry about. I think the extractor wore out like 10 rounds earlier on the steel case, and they shot like 1,000,000 rounds or whatever it was. It wasn't literally 1,000,000, but you guys can look it up. It's from maybe 4 or 5 or 6 years ago now, the famous Lucky Gunner test of the steel versus the brass 5.56. Even if it burns up barrels, even if it does slightly increase the throat erosion rate, there's a lot of math to be done that you're going to be able to buy several complete uppers, several complete guns, let alone barrels, for the price that you're saving on this steel case. And that's if it even did wear it out ahead of time. I'm not even contending that it does. I'm just saying if it did. But there's other reasons why people like brass case. So I'm not just saying this to like try to appease you guys. I know that's what it seems like tonight. But no, I really do like the AR and the AK. And I really do like steel and brass. But you can see on this shipment alone, it's heavily biased towards the, you know, there's a little brass here. This is only brass because they're freaking insane right now, and this is only $10.50 a box. If this was $14 and the steel was, you know, $9.95, I would have bought the steel. But I think the steel was $9.95 and this was $10.50. So for 50 cents more, of course I'm going to buy brass. Why not? Main reason is somebody might want the cases to reload it, or eventually it adds up to a little bit of scrap price. You guys know what I'm saying. And I have one more here type of ammo. And this would be your famous 308 Winchester. Otherwise known as 7.62 by 51 NATO. Or just 7.62 NATO, right? Now, for some reason, Wolf and all of them, it's weird. They'll put like, you know, they'll put the military nomenclature on here. You know, and all that. They'll put it in millimeters, but they won't put the 308 in millimeters. You guys ever notice that? Or the 223. It's always 308 Win, right? And if you buy their 223.556, yeah, I'm looking at some right here. It's always just simply 223 Remington. They won't ever call it its other, you know, metric or NATO designation. It's kind of funny. But yeah, 308 Wolf. And I have 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, 4 boxes, and 5 boxes. So just an even 100 rounds. I know a lot of times the mags for, you know, 7.62 by 39, 5.45, they don't end up in even increments, but I'll still buy 100 rounds anyways. I don't know why. It's just like a thing, right? But these, most of the time, the mags are 20 rounds for 308. So this does make sense just to buy, you know, 5 boxes rather, 5 mags full. I saw someone talking about the 308, White Space Marines. Here's the deal, man. I should do a C308 video because I have a couple of them. And here's the deal. For the price, they're great. The price I bought mine for, even better, because they were cheaper than they are now about 2 years ago. And Century had rebates on them at the same time. So with rebate, I got my C308s for like $300 a piece. But I will tell you, they're not a complete rose garden, okay? I had some issues with one of mine where it was so rough. I had to really get in there and do some hand fitting and a little bit of grinding and sanding, and whoever the heck put it together clearly didn't even try to freaking, I mean, I just smoothed it out more the other day. The cocking tube, okay? The cocking handle tube was bent to the point where it was rubbing so hard it was almost impossible. Like you couldn't just pull back the charging handle. You had to like hit it with something. It's a Century product. It's going to be hit and miss, okay? Yeah, the PTR is a better build, and Century is not good at building rifles. I own enough of them to say that, guys. I'm not knocking anyone that owns one. I own as many of them as anybody, but they're just not, they have a way of screwing up a lot of, surplus parts kits. Yeah, Mateo was talking to me while I was doing it. I'm cussing up a storm. What the freaking FF? Chink, 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 chink. I mean, this is like some crude stuff. And I own a PTR. I own a PTR 91. Okay. I own a couple C308s. Okay. I own pre-1968 fully registered G3 machine guns. No, I don't own any. I wanted to say that, but I couldn't keep a straight face. I don't own any pre-68 registered G3 machine guns, guys. If I did, you guys would have got me for a hypocrite when I said I wasn't rich earlier. No, none of those. But no, I do own a PTR 91, and I own a couple C308s. I think I might have one of my C308s here. I can't remember right now. C308. It's good for the money, dude. I don't know. I'm only going to give a 50-50 recommendation on the C308 at best. So I'm not going to go as far as... Hold on a second. You guys probably can't hear me. I thought there was one. I don't remember where it's at. I know one of my C308s is on the workbench in my garage at home. I think there might be another one here. Or it might be somewhere else. But if you guys are looking... Good night, Fierce Mouse. Much love to the 2A community and keep fighting, Patriots. Yep, remember when Patriot wasn't a 4-letter word. Amen, man. Listen to Fierce Mouse, guys. He's got a good attitude. I like that guy. Anyways, yeah. C308s. I'll do a video on it, I'm not going to recommend it or disrecommend it. I'm going to say flip a coin. That's kind of where I'm at on the C308. Didn't answer your question. I know that, White Space Marines. But see, it's cheap and it's an awesome gun, and it can be too, okay? But the problem is you might have to, and look, if you're a handy guy and you're a tinkerer, go ahead. Do it. You can go right now to Centerfire Systems, $179. You can get a complete Set-Me C parts kit with an extra furniture set with 5 mags and 4 slings and a magazine loader and all this stuff for $179, free shipping. I've bought parts kits a couple times from Apex, C308, not C308, Set-Me C parts kits for like $100, $99, $109. So you can get parts. You can get parts. That's not the problem. The problem is it's a Sentry build, but I'm not going to argue with Ninja Scout. Okay? His is probably awesome. One of mine's great. The other one, I had to do quite a bit of kind of like bullcrap to it. You shouldn't have to do with a new gun. That's why I'm 50-50. Won't argue with the guy that's telling me how great it is. Not arguing with you, Ninja. I'm not going to argue with another guy that comes in here and says, mine wouldn't even rack out of the box. Because I have one like that. I literally couldn't rack it. I had to hit with a dead blow to get it to even move an inch. And it was literally that much. I don't know how the gun left their quality control. But it did. Look, it's a PTR made the receivers, guys. They used the so-called Navy lowers on them, okay? So half the gun was made by PTR. With a Set-Me C, I don't want to say 308. I want to say 7.62. And there was the 7.62 by 51 Set-Me, actually, which is a completely separate round. Not completely separate. It's technically had a different classification. So from a legal standpoint, it's a separate round. It's actually... on the weak side loaded 7.62 NATO, so a little bit weaker. I don't want to get down that rabbit hole. But anyways, yeah. Some of the parts are PTR, some are original Set-Me. Did Spanish Set-Me, did they know how to build a new gun? Absolutely. They knew how to build a good gun. That's not the problem. PTR, did they know how to build good parts? Absolutely. That's not the problem. You take good parts with good receivers and have Sentry put them together, flip a coin whether you're going to have a problem or not. So, yeah. To completely build an AR, how much would it cost? Well, you figure it depends if you're buying, what your FFL charges or if you want to buy a receiver locally. That's the variable. You can buy a stripped lower for $40 online for a lower end one. And when I say lower end, I just mean a cheaper price one, right? An Anderson, let's just say $40, maybe $50 at the most. Now, are you going to have to pay $20 to get it shipped and your FFL charges you $35? That's where there's variables involved, okay? Maybe your FFL is only going to charge you $50, $60 straight up for the receiver. And then I just got an email from Palmetto earlier, $280 for one of their Liberties or whatever they're called, complete kits. So if you do the quick math on that, with tax and shipping, maybe $370, build an AR, something like that. I don't know. I saw them like a month and a half, 2 months ago, before we've had this little bit of secret panic buying going on lately. $250 for a parts kit, free shipping. And I saw the stripped lowers down to $30. So I'd say about $300 to $310 a couple months ago. Today, I'm thinking $350 to $370 is about the cheapest you're going to build an AR-15. You know? And that's going to be with like, you know, Palmetto or Bear Creek type caliber money parts. Yeah, the PTRs are nice, Dauntless Defense. I'll give you that. You know, and really what you're doing is you're just avoiding that excise tax. So you can just buy a complete lower and a complete upper. And as long as you buy them on two separate line items in the same cart, from let's just say Palmetto, it's going to be cheaper, even though you're not technically building from the ground up, which I know that's what you're talking about, Jeremy. But you can just literally pin the two pins together. And you're still going to save because they don't have to pay that manufacturer's excise tax for selling a complete firearm. See? So there you go. Yeah. So, Jeremy, that's the deal, man. I'll be honest with you. Okay, so Mateo said the same thing I was saying. Actually, and I just read it after I just said it. Buy a complete upper and a complete lower. It's the cheapest way you can do it. Now, if your argument is I want to make a little better one or a customizable one, there's many reasons why you might not want to do that. Cheapest one, I've had bad experiences with them and good ones. Enough good ones where I'll still recommend them, okay? Go to PSA, look at their daily deal. Buy their daily deal completed lower. Buy one of their daily deal uppers. Get them shipped together to your FFL. Slap them together, two pins. You'll need at least one mag, though. That's the only difference. When you buy the complete lower, they're not going to give you a mag with it. Palmetto won't. And the upper is not going to come with a mag. So that's the only advantage of buying the complete rifle is you usually get one magazine. But just to keep it apples to apples, we're talking Palmetto because what you're wondering about is the cheapest way to get one. So for those of you guys who just came in, I'm not even trying to say it's the best rifle or whatever, but I own Palmettos, so I'm, you know, practicing what I preach here. Probably the cheapest way to buy one, let's face it. So you're just going to need to buy the upper, buy the completed lower, buy yourself a magazine. I mean, really 10 magazines, but you'll find that too from Palmetto. Those 10-pack magazine deals. Sometimes it's a red dot with 10 mags. They'll get you by. Rupin RX, how's it going? Yeah, just saw you. Thanks for the follow on IG, man. I just followed you back, by the way. Just finished why you're allowed to own an AR-15 video. I'm glad you liked it. Explicit's talking about Massachusetts law again. Man, you know what sucks too? Is you got states like Massachusetts, so restrictive, right? California, so restrictive. Parts of New York, so restrictive. Parts of Illinois, so restrictive. Some of the best people that I see in here, some of the nicest people, some of the most patriotic people, you all live in Massachusetts and California and Illinois and New York. And so what the heck's going on, man? It sucks. It sucks. But you know what is pretty cool, though? On the East Coast, all these bans you guys had, I just heard a new FBI statistic where, first of all, they said of the millions of bump stocks that are believed to have been purchased, millions. Now, this is a big variance, but this is how the FBI works. They said between 10 and 100 bump stocks have been turned in total in the whole country. And then they said over on the East Coast, they were lumping in like, you know, your Massachusetts and your New Jersey and New York and several others too. They said that less than 10% they believe have actually registered assault weapons or are actually complying with these bans, right? So good for you guys. I hope it's way less than 10%. If it's more than 1%, that's too many. Now, I don't want anyone to come in the chat here and admit to anything wrong. Look, I'm going to give you guys the advice to always follow the law. But it'd make me personally very happy to know that that's true, that less than 10% have actually complied with any of that bull crap. They better watch themselves, all these laws they want to make, if it's ever time for Americans to decide, nope, enough's enough, no tyranny in this country, there's going to be a lot more people, quote, behind enemy lines than they think. A lot of people aren't complying. There's a reason I wear this hat. And of course you have the right to remain silent. And I don't break the law, guys, at all. And I wouldn't talk about it on here if I did. But that's a hypothetical because I don't. But I'm not going to comply with a freaking unconstitutional law because it's illegal. With all that said, I do comply with the law. They ban and want to take my AR-15 and AK. If they want to do that, then I won't comply. So. White Space Marines. Yeah, I wouldn't give the sweat off my B. Now, does he mean back, guys, or balls? I think he's saying he wouldn't give him the sweat off of his balls. At least that's the better thing to say. Oh, Gunsquawk 44 is in here. How's it going, man? See, he's not going to comply either, as he shouldn't. Give me one quick second, guys. Right as I said I won't comply, I heard a bunch of car doors closing. I'm like, man, how many of them just showed up? No, it was somebody at the business next door here, late as heck, by the way, opening and closing their door like 25 times at will. I don't know why. I don't care why. I just heard like 25 car doors closed just now and realized it was one person. And as I peeked out the window, they closed it like 5 more times. Whatever. Oh boy, Maura Healy. Yeah, I know. I keep hearing about her all the time. Ninja Scout doesn't even have any guns, so neither does Jet. And here's the thing, guys. You're probably tweaking, Jeremy says. Oh man. Don't worry, guys. I'm ready. I'm ready for them if they come. All this firepower in here, 54R, AR-15 versus AKs. And I'm going to come out with this, right? Maybe this plus something else. How about that? Now, none of these guns I show are even mine. You guys know that. I'm renting all these from that rental girl. They call her rental girl for more than she owns all these. I just rent them from her. I pay her 10 cents a piece. And other pre-negotiated terms per gun, per show. So, I don't own any guns. I just know about them because I study my friend's guns who actually owns them all. Okay, Rockford, I don't know if you stepped away earlier, but I completely and totally thoroughly answered that question for 5 minutes straight earlier. But I'll say it one more time really, really quick because I did spend a lot of time answering it. The pistol with the carbine forend with the side folding SB tactical brace. That's the one I have, and I totally love it. No, I just answered you, man. But I really did give like a long answer earlier. Yeah, Johnny Powell has the more convincing boating accident. Yeah. And if you believe they'd buy that, I'll throw the Golden Gate in free, okay? That's a real convincing story, the boating accident. And I even live on a lake, too. And I'm still... But hey, that's fine. The boating accident's good. Make sure you sleep good at night. Somebody said to me the other day, some video I put out, they said, you could end up on a list for this. I'm like, I hope I end up on a list. That means I'm doing my job. See, remember, the more of us that get put on a list, the more liberty we're going to have and the less likelihood of tyranny. Because if they have a list of people that's only 10 people long, they're just going to come in and shoot our dogs in the middle of the night. No one's even going to care. If there's 10 million people on that list, then it starts to become the whole thing, where if the people fear the government, there's tyranny, right? But if the government fears the people, there's liberty. And don't forget, the Declaration of Independence, that was a list that they signed their names to. That was literally like signing their own death warrant, where they were guaranteed to die unless or until they stood up, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier in my video, against the most powerful armed forces, the most powerful Army, Navy, maybe in history, at least at that time. And they said, no, we're going to sign something and put ourselves on a list that basically says, don't tread on me. You're not going to take my guns. You're not going to take my ammo. And if you're going to try, it's going to be over my dead body. But better yet, we're going to kill you. That's what the Founding Fathers said. Okay? That's what the Founding Fathers said. So, like I said, I don't think it's time for anything like that yet. And hopefully it never is. But just don't forget that. Are you going to be put on a list for talking about liberty? Of course you are. But that's the good list to be on. That's the list we should all be proud to be on. And for those of you that are afraid about a list, or want to say something about me being on a list, that's fine. You can do that. I respect for your freedom of views, but don't come to me. If SHTF, don't come to me. You'd be better off to go to the gulag than to come with me and the boys I'll be hanging out with. I'll just say that. Any kind of Tories or turncoats or FUDs now, have your day in the sun. Go to the gulag. Much safer for you than me and my boys. Don't like traitors. But hopefully things don't come to that. That's why I always advocate for call your senator. Call your representative. Call President Trump. That's what I advocate for. I don't mind giving the history of what our founding fathers did. I mean, that's the history of the United States of America. And I'm not ashamed of it. Am I advocating that we do that right now? Of course not. I've never even once advocated for that. I'm just simply saying, go to the gulag as far as I care if you're condemning me right now for getting on a list because I'm talking about calling your senator, call your representative, whatever. And one of my main subs, if you're watching this later, you left me a comment like that, and I know you were joking. Sometimes you guys are joking, trust me. But some people seriously get in there and they say this crap to me. Like, dude, what's wrong with you? You're going to end up on a list. What kind of list? What if the Founding Fathers were afraid to be on the Declaration of Independence? If they were afraid to sign the Constitution? What if they were? What if we hadn't declared our independence? I don't know. What if? Where would we be today? Would we have guns? Have there been a United States of America to end communism and Soviet Russia, to take out the Third Reich? I don't know. I think people that think, oh, well, we'd be British, we'd be Englishmen if the United States never won the revolution. I don't know about that. Would have we been in a concentration camp instead? Would have we been in a gulag instead? Because last time I checked, the EU, with all their condemnation of the United States, and the fact that a lot of our forefathers came from there, I respect, again, it's not just the people, it's the governments, but as much as they condemn the United States and like to say that we need to follow the UN and they're going to send blue helmets for our guns, and they want to sign treaties. They want us to sign treaties, the UN does, right? Where we can't own any of these guns that we have. They want that, right? But here's the problem. Hitler would have rolled through all of them like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. They can say Russia won the war all they want. Bull crap. And here's the problem. So what if Russia would have won World War II without the U.S.? Then you would have been in a gulag instead of a concentration camp. What freaking difference does it make? Now, I know when Hillary said that, there was a big difference about Benghazi. Trust me. When I'm saying it, what difference does it freaking make? Do you want gulag? Do you want SS concentration camp? You know, it's kind of crazy that all these other countries, they want us to be just like them, just like the rest of the world. And then they like to say, oh, well, if you wouldn't have been, you know, if you guys wouldn't have been the rebels and you guys wouldn't have fought and won the revolution, and if you guys would have handed your guns over, Europeans will often say, well, you guys would be Brits now. No, we wouldn't. We'd all be dead in a gulag or a concentration camp. Get with it. You honestly think that any of those other countries, all of them combined, even stood a chance against the Red Army? Give me a break. Against the Third Reich? No. So I don't know if you guys ever think about that before, but I get sick and tired of people making it sound like it's a, bilateral thing. Like, okay, well, it wouldn't be so bad. You'd be going over and living in Britain. Yeah. Like, they're even much better. The socialist countries over in Britain can't even own a sharp knife unless you're a certain age. Some of the butter knives that have the little serrations on the very end, they're even getting more scrutiny. Oh, you can own a gun in Great Britain, but you have to keep it locked up at the gun club. And even then, it can't be this and it can't be that. And you have to pay a tax and storage fees. Give me a break. But we wouldn't even be able to have that. Because Hitler would have rolled right through them. Or Stalin would have rolled right through them. Or Stalin and Hitler would have looked at each other and been like, you know what? Let's just split this whole world 50-50. So keep that in mind. When people talk about being on lists, I'm sure glad that our founding fathers put their name on that list. I sure am. Because if they didn't, we'd either be speaking German or dead right now. Jeremy Wilson, yeah. We become too sissified to stand for what's right. And for someone to even think I'm saying anything controversial right now, I'm not saying anything controversial. It's history. People say, oh, well, communism never was a bad thing. It didn't exist. Well, yeah, it did actually, because I have the first currency here shortly after the Bolsheviks revolution. Like, this is real, and this is an original, not a copy, by the way. Like, this crap really happened. That really is a hammer and sickle on there, okay? And guess who put a boot in their ass? The US of A. Of course, as always. Everyone freaking hates us so much. But we're always the only ones that can ever fight off evil and end it. You ever notice that? We're so bad. We're so bad, okay? Let's see here. Ooh, Johnny Paul says he did actually lose a lot of Chinese SKS overboard. Ooh, that sucks, actually. We all make these jokes, and this dude's like, no, I legit did lose one over a board. Yeah, that sucks. I guess with the cold temperatures, it might be fine, right? Ooh, the sex change list. Ooh, that's a scary one, too. Well, by the way, all these socialist countries, like the liberals in this country, all want to aspire to socialism, right? But they also believe it's your body and you can pick whatever. There's many genders. There's many all this and that and whatever. There's he, she, ze, all these pronouns up on top of pronouns, whatever, right? They all think they want socialism. News break. News flash. For all you want to be socialist young people out there with a public education or going to one of the highest priced universities, getting brainwashed, this really happened. This is communism. This is socialism. And guess what? If you were openly gay, transgendered, or anything less than the most perfect, desirable servant to the country, you were dead. They killed you. They put you in a work camp. All these socialists, transsexuals, look, you're dead if you go there. So you guys want this? Go look at what they did to gays. Look what they did to people that were considered, at that time, we didn't have the politically correct words, oddities, freaks, all these things. Look what happened to them. Look what happened under the Third Reich if you didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. Look at you. Look what I'm just saying. People want socialism, and they get the vote of all of these gay people and all of these brown people, okay, that are professing to be socialists, and white people too, all kinds of people, right? Yeah, they'd kill all of you if they actually attain their true thing. I mean, that's what's happened in history before. Look at the National Socialist German Workers' Party. Yeah, they didn't tolerate too much homosexuality back then, or different shades of skin, or even eye color to a point, or even hair color to a point. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's like if you all just want to be lemmings and run off a cliff, go get the old game. Literally. Dink, 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 dink. If that's what you guys want to do is walk off a cliff, watch the game, line up single file. Seriously. Dink, dink. You guys can end it if you want. It's your right. But at least leave America for us, the rest of us, right? Like, just because you guys want to be put into gulags, I mean, for all you aspiring socialists out there, this existed. Look this up. Look up Bolsheviks, okay? 1917, October of 1917 revolution. Look it up. Look up Gulag, okay? Now look at yourself and all of your beliefs and see whether you would have ended up in there or not. Because I don't want to be in there. I don't want to walk off a cliff like a lemming. So just because you do, don't invite this into the United States. Just go play the game Lemmings and walk off a freaking cliff. At least the rest of us can sit here and have our country and have our freedom and our liberty. You know what I mean? No, I don't want anyone to kill themselves, but if you want to walk off a cliff, just do it. A lot less tax-based than gulags. You know, these people tax at about 70%, okay? And then the 30% that's left, usually half of that's extorted from you. Even like, I don't mean like extorted like as in taking 70% off your paycheck. I mean like thugs and jackboots coming in the middle of the night to do their collection. So it's a lot cheaper just to buy one of those old Lemmings games. Yeah, like you were saying, Americans first had to teach your kids, you know, the real history at home. Schools no longer teach. I don't know. Some of them do, I'm sure, but many of them don't. Yeah, no, you're right, Seth. Good point. He says, you know, we get crap for helping destroy evil, but when we don't, they beg for us to stop in. Yeah, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? It's all a bunch of crap. Huh. Johnny Powell is a newer immigrant. I don't understand U.S. healthcare, police, and prison systems. Dude, I've been here my whole life. I don't understand it. And if you have any head left on your shoulders, don't try to understand it, or you're going to end up either crazy or dumb or both. That's my advice. Don't try to understand it. Just know that it's pretty ridiculous. That's the best thing. White Space Marines. Yeah, he said it. I didn't even read this till now. I don't understand it. They're nuts. I mean, come on. They are. Yep. Gun squawk. No. No compromise. No magazine limits. No more AR bans. Not going to take it. There you go. Yep. Blue is my favorite target color. Oh, you guys are talking about the blue helmets, the UN. All right, I'm going to catch up on the comments here, guys, and then I'm going to need to get off. It's getting pretty late. What wasn't real communism? Oh, Brastard said that wasn't real communism. LOL. Okay, I saw the LOL afterwards. Yeah, you guys are all bringing up pretty good points here. Oh, okay. Johnny Paul's a Brit, still am. My brother has his own range in his garden. Good for 30-8, 243. Yeah. I don't know. Did you get mad at me talking about all that stuff, or do you know exactly what I'm talking about? Like I said, Johnny, nothing personal. You know, like you said, you were a Brit, but I don't think Britain was going to beat Germany without the U.S. stepping in. I really don't think so. And yeah, Russia did do a lot in World War II, like I said earlier. But I think they would have figured something out. I really do. If the U.S. hadn't been allies with Stalin, I think you might have found Stalin and Hitler being willing to strike a deal at a certain point. I have a sneaking suspicion about that. And I didn't make that theory up. There's some pretty good reading on that. Yeah, people are literally brainwashed. Oh yeah. Like Gunsquawk says, we need to forget the racist thing. I'm sure we'll have all races for the second. Oh, exactly. I wasn't talking about races at all. The only thing I mentioned with race earlier is it sucks. It's just all the lying that goes on. People say, well, conservatives are racist, and the socialists care about all races. That's not true at all, actually, because 99% of the conservatives I know, well, pretty much all of them that are real conservatives, we're not racist, okay? But the socialists that supposedly want to get all the minority race votes, right? That's what they market themselves as. Now, look, I know many, many minorities don't fall for it. And trust me, minorities fall for socialists, so do white people. That's not just a race thing. My thing is they like to say they have a monopoly on, we're for the minority race and this and that. No, they're not. Because any true successful implementation of socialism or communism, they always end up being the most racist ones. That was the point I was making. So, yeah. Yeah, like Jet saying, the white people are the racists. Look, there's people that are, there's people of every race who are racist. There's people of every race who are not racist. I'm just saying, your true jackboot, totalitarian type governments tend to do the most racial genocide, like, of all time. That's all I'm really trying to say. White Space Marines. Yep, that's a good point. That is a good point. Get your armor. I hate to say it, while you still can, because Chuck Schumer, he has his bill that he's put up a few times over the years. Yeah, a true conservative is the live and let live attitude. You're right. Even though that's what the liberals brand. Like, it takes you a while, but at a certain age, you finally get it. You're like, man, everything that the liberals tried to market themselves as in a good way, that's actually what the conservatives are. And then the stuff that's like bad with them, they're actually more or less admitting to being socialists. It's pretty messed up. At least these modern liberals. Now, look, I know some older people that consider themselves liberals. And they're actually a lot more reasonable than what I'm describing. They really are. It's just this new wave, like your Bernie Sanders supporter, where he comes out and says, I'm a socialist, okay? Those are the ones that kind of crazy if you ask me. But I do know some people that would call themselves more of a Democrat that really aren't nearly that crazy, so. All right, good night, Explicit. I got to get off too, guys. It's getting late, but this is a good talk. So, yeah, good night, Americans first. I'm going to sign off, guys. As far as what type of plates to get, I have steel. They're a little heavy. You might want to go with like a, what is it called? Like a sappy plate, right? You might want to look at that, ceramic. U.S. healthcare isn't the best in the world. I don't know about that. I haven't been to other countries. I've heard it isn't the best, but a lot of other countries who claim to have better, I've heard aren't good either. But I don't think it's the government's responsibility to provide healthcare, though. That's the point. So, yeah, lots to think about, guys. I'm gonna sign off here. It's been fun tonight. Yeah, we can pick up some of this next stream, I guess. Kind of got on some rants, and I could keep going all night, and that's a good thing. But at the same time, a lot of us, including me, have to get up for work in the morning. So I will catch up to some of you guys next time. It's been fun hanging out with all of you guys. Good comments. I'll come back and read this chat later. Maybe some of you guys will too. All right, guys. That's about it. I will talk to you guys soon, and thanks for watching, and have a good one.